I'm gonna leave this part in.
Oh shit.
No. Keep it going. Let's Google Usher because how the story came up about how Donnie and Rebecca were like, Usher's not relevant. I'm like, what are you talking about? No.
Oh, we're just throwing people under the bus at the start of the show, huh?
They said it on Nintendo Shack. It's not like
I like how this is now Delvin's after hours Shack Attack.
Yes, this is slandering my co-host. The show.
I just got done recording with these idiots.
Saying Usher isn't relevant.
Rebecca's gonna come in here and beat your ass.
Look,
and we'll throw that on the Patreon, and we'll get lots of money for it.
I was gonna say that some people pay lots of money for stuff like that.
The SVG after hours.
All right, let's start the show.
PlayStation.
So you think you're slick, huh?
Welcome. What the fuck is that?
Like you can just get out here, say whatever you want. Like people don't have the passwords to come join this. Okay?
This is exactly why I said Rebecca was gonna come in here and beat his ass.
I love the idea that this man is over here like relevancy is apparently like mom hip hop from 2008.
No,
that's your most relevant.
Super relevant.
Super relevant.
Like,
super relevant.
He is.
You know
He
super
did like
relevant?
a Vegas regular
Taylor
scene.
Swift is super relevant.
Well,
What
that's
is
different.
Usher
That's white
compared to
girls.
her? On a scale of 1 to 10, Taylor Swift's a 10. Where's Usher? Be honest with me.
In terms of
One.
relevancy or
9, 8. I don't know.
no?
8.
Yeah, like about an 8, like an 8.
Not even a little bit. 8. 8. Like
He's
Like
saying,
an 8.
30, he's saying
Honestly,
75
like
million
an 8.
records sold worldwide.
Hey.
8 Grammys
Four
isn't
at
relevant.
best. A 4 at best.
See, thank you, Snerts. He's
Delvin?
a huge
Delvin.
star. Yes.
He
Delvin,
was.
I'm gonna point out that
He
I
used
think
to
the
be.
last time I heard an Usher song was 2011.
But you don't listen to Usher.
Wow.
I don't
Usher's
listen
like
to
a
the radio,
huge star.
period, and yet I still hear the Offspring every day.
Oh, that's because the Offspring is
Well, I don't
amazing.
know where you listen. I don't know where you hear the Offspring at.
Yeah, PSXP Civil War.
Oh,
No,
Usher
not at
is
all.
relevant as Donnie's take on hockey. That's sure, absolutely. Hockey's a
See?
great sport, Donnie.
No, they're both.
I
relevant.
can't wait till my half black
as
brother
relevant
Dev
as
gets
hockey.
on the show with me.
Actually, just put it that way. Usher is the hockey of musicians. He's as relevant as hockey.
That is
But
a-
he's still like
a
one of the
wild
major sports
take.
in the world.
I mean, it's just. I'm just being honest. I'm
Usher's
like,
a
look, I'm not.
huge
I don't dis.
star.
I don't dis. I
He
don't
just
dislike.
put out like a song this year that's like
song.
super
He
popular.
just put out a song. Is that your
Ace.
thing?
I think his
That's your
album's
thing?
dropping.
He just put out a song.
No, he
What's the name of the
he
song?
consistently
What's
puts
the
out
name of
music.
the album?
I'm gonna tell you the name of it right now.
Oh, so as you look it up, how many
The
times?
album is called.
How many times you listen to it,
The
Delvin?
album is called. I don't listen to Usher like that. I don't listen to his old stuff.
See,
But Usher's-
see, look at this man.
But this is not my era.
Look,
I
again,
understand, but I know
exactly.
plenty of people
It's
listen to
not
Usher.
the era. This isn't his era.
But
You
he
know, when I
still
go to the
makes
Super
music
Bowl
that is
party later
very
today, I'm
popular.
going to ask everybody,
Ask
what's
him.
your
We
take
need-
on
we need market
Usher
research.
on a scale of 1 to 10?
Taylor Swift's a 10. What's an Usher?
Snerts.
He's like a
Snerts.
2.
I'm gonna ask the question that everybody's scared to ask.
Oh
How many
boy.
white people are gonna be at the Super Bowl party?
Oh, it's going to be a fair amount of white people. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
How
Yeah.
many black people gonna be there? Because if you asked
Oh,
100,
No.
it,
no,
I-
you have
it
to
is.
based
It
off
is
the
pretty
race.
bad. It is that. It is
You
that
have
friend
to.
group.
We're not turning this into a race issue. I have.
But it is.
Usher.
Oh, no.
No, there could be a race angle to it, of
I
course.
guarantee you, I had an Usher album before you did. I guarantee.
That's a goddamn lie.
I know it's not. I know it's not. My
No,
legs,
yes, it
fucking
is.
the goggles and everything. I did all of that. I was way early on that. It's not a
I'm
race.
telling you that black people
Again,
know when Usher's coming out.
I'm not even.
He may
I'm
not be
even-
relevant to white audiences.
You're trying
like
to
that.
make me like some anti-Usher person. I'm not. You said relevancy. This is a discussion
He
of
is
relevance.
very relevant.
No, you know who's relevant
But
today?
he is.
Megan Thee Stallion. You know who's
Oh,
relevant today?
100%.
Jelly Roll. You know who's relevant today? Post Malone. These are relevant people
I
today.
don't know about that one,
Usher was relevant 15
last
years
one,
ago.
but he still is relevant.
Oh,
Much like
hold
the
on.
rest.
I think
Stop,
you're confusing
stop,
relevancy
stop.
with famous.
Stop, Donnie. Your mic. It was just pointed out in chat.
What's wrong with it?
They say
Apparently it
it's on
sounds-
your
It is.
So you're
It's a
not
good
saying
call.
that
It's the
Usher
wrong
isn't a
microphone.
superstar who belongs
I'm over
on the
here
main
just
stage?
fucking up y'all's podcast. I think
Oh, that sounds so much better.
That's fine.
Yeah.
relevancy with popularity is famous. He's famous. People know who he is. That doesn't mean he's relevant. Relevant is what have you done for me lately? Relevance is now.
He's going to be on the biggest stage in the world in a fucking hour or so.
Yes.
And I
And he
can't
just-
wait. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to point out. I'm going to go hunting for the tweets that are like, "Who the fuck is this?" Because you know they're going to be
And
there.
I guarantee you, all of them are going to be Caucasian people from the Caucasus
No, they're
Mountains.
just going to be people that are under 25. They're not going to be
No,
people from
they-
your era.
no,
They're going to be
there are
baby
plenty of
boomers.
people.
They're not going to be
You
baby
don't
boomers
understand-
like you, Delvin.
You don't understand how many people, like young people, like Usher.
Okay.
Like
Uh-huh.
Usher's like a sex symbol for some reason.
Sorry, I have to ask: is Delvin Jr. one of the people? Because if he's not, that doesn't surprise me.
Chat.
That likes
Help me
Usher.
here. Help me.
The chat is like 45 years old too.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't help.
Yeah.
All of them are old too.
I just don't think he's very.
I don't
just
like
think he's very
Usher,
relevant.
but I don't listen.
I like
to
Usher. I like Usher. I like his early
I
stuff
like Usher.
before it went all, super poppy. But
Well, he's
outside of that,
kind of like, he's kind of a pop star. He's kind of an R&B star who went pop, who's now back R&B.
yeah.
If you're an R&B fan, Usher is still very
Who's
relevant.
more relevant, Usher or Kanye?
Kanye.
No, that Kanye's though crazy.
Well,
So-
yeah, he just had
Kanye-
album. Kanye just had
relevant.
album come out. So yeah,
That's still more relevant.
Kanye literally had an album come
Like-
out like yesterday.
Like regardless of Kanye's like whole shtick right now, he's still more relevant than Usher.
That's all I'm pointing out. That's it. You trying to make me some
Yeah, but I'm-
black hating anti-Rush person, and
Yeah,
I'm not having it. I'm not
Well,
standing for it.
well,
you have
well,
a very
I
particular
came
angle.
here
'cause-
to correct the tape. I came here to correct it. Okay, so let the
I'm
record
telling
show.
you, he's very well relevant. Super
You
relevant.
see, why do you got to put so many adjectives on it?
Because it's true.
Very well, like you're
Usher.
super relevant. Okay,
So you got those Usher tickets, Delvin? 10-12, he's coming to Miami, Florida. 10-17
those
goes down to
tickets
Georgia.
cost?
Court points it out. He's relevant when Court was in college. He's 44 now.
Wow, Court's older than me. Let the record show that I am not the oldest person in PSVG land. Chalfie, Court, there are many more people older than me. But
When
they
was the
just try to
last
put it on.
time Usher had a? And you might school me on this one. When was the last time Usher had like a top 15 hit?
I think the song he has now, I think it's called Good Something, is that.
Okay, if we're gonna test this theory, let me open the goddamn
I
Apple
feel like
Music
now
app.
doesn't count because of course he's doing the Super Bowl now. Before now,
No, I
when was
don't.
the last time?
Well, I
Thank
think,
you.
I think him being on the Super Bowl makes him more relevant to the general conversation.
I agree. I think
But,
I think the thing that's made him more relevant is the Super Bowl.
but if we're
He's
talking
been
like,
more relevant now.
That helps.
I mean, Taylor Swift has captured the heart and minds of everybody.
All right, I'm looking up
you know,
I'm
so
looking up
I'm not
the
going on that
Billboard
route.
Top 100. Usher's recent single is at 43.
Hey, top
And
50,
that
baby.
came out.
He's
that came
behind
out August
artists.
20
He's behind
What
artists
song is it?
such as Ice Spice,
Ice Spice is popular.
Gunna, Miley
Gunna is very
Cyrus,
popular. Miley Cyrus is super popular right now.
Jesse Murph,
I don't know who that is now.
Mooney Long,
I don't know Mooney Long.
Drake,
Yeah,
Nicki
I know
Minaj.
Drake's very popular. Nicki Minaj is very popular.
Zavi,
Meg Thee Stallion.
Flo
Zazie.
Millie.
Flo Milli, I know Flo Milli. I know all these people you're naming. They're very
Doja
like
Cat.
relevant artists of today.
So okay,
Obviously,
but
Doja
you
Cat.
said Usher is very well relevant. Out of all these people
Yes.
that I just named, is he the most relevant?
Usher is 42 on the Billboard Top 100 right now.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay.
Can't even look
Top
at the goddamn
50.
thing after
I
this.
just said that just 2
What?
minutes ago, Haley.
Sorry.
What's the name of the song, Haley?
Dua
What's the name of the
Lipa.
song?
Good, good.
Yeah, it's called Good Good.
He's
That's a
behind
terrible
Jelly
That
song
Roll.
song
name.
came
I'm
out-
sorry. That's a terrible song name.
That is
Good.
absolutely a terrible song, dude.
And
And
again,
coming up with my
I'm
next
just
hit,
here
for
Bad
science.
Bad.
I'm not trying to put my man down. I'm just here for science. You said he's
You're just
super
here for
relevant.
science. For
Is he more
subjective
relevant
Yes.
than Dua Lipa?
Uh,
Is he more relevant
Dua
than
Lipa
Olivia
released
Rodrigo? How many artists do I have to give you a more relevant
Let it be
Usher before
known.
he's no longer
Yeah.
super well relevant?
I'm going to point
Let
out
it be
Olivia
known.
Rod.
I have to have 1,000
This
artists.
song. Let it be known. This song is 43, and it came out last August.
Again, so it's just a
That
Super Bowl then.
so it's still on the charts.
No, I don't think that's it.
I don't think that counts
Yeah.
because the Bill. No. Do
I
you
think
know
people
how the
started
Billboard
listening to
Top
when he got
100?
announced for the Super Bowl. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
probably. That's exactly it.
No, not at
Delvin's like,
all.
let the record
Because
show my
why-
man's been crushing it
why
for
would-
years.
Why would that song be on the charts as opposed to his
I don't
old
know.
songs?
I don't even know what song it is.
That's
I
my
haven't even heard
point.
it. Again,
Okay, but again, he's not more relevant than Olivia Rodrigo.
I didn't say that. I said Usher's super relevant.
He's
Cool.
not.
Usher is
He's
so
still
old.
relevant
He
today.
did a song with R. Kelly.
He's
which was-
43 on Billboard. 43 on a
Are
song
we
that came out
arguing
last
43
year.
is relevance?
I think we're arguing what
Yes.
relevance means. I think
we are.
I think that's the boil down.
Yeah, I
thing.
think,
I think-
it's a semantics
Yeah.
game here.
I'm going to put
Yeah.
on my history academic hat. Okay, everybody, define relevance to you, and
Yeah.
then we got to see. if we're on the
Apparently,
same page
being on a
here.
chart next to Bad Bunny makes you super
Bad
well
Bunny's a
relevant.
huge star. Huge
Huge.
star.
See, everybody's
Bunny
just a
is-
huge star.
Bad Bunny is
You
one
know
of the
this?
biggest
He sounds
stars in
like
the
Trump.
world.
He's like huge star, huge.
Absolutely not.
Everybody's a big star.
Hey, where's
That's all I hear. Every
where's
time I
that-
bring up a name, every
Bad-
name I bring up that's not a white person, he's like, it's a huge star. Big star.
Bad
most
Bunny is
relevant star.
literally one of the biggest stars in the
That
world.
killed me.
That's
It's
what
not
I'm
even
saying.
close.
Nerds, this is even funnier when there was a Twitter account that used to exist,
Fascinating.
which was an edited photo of Delvin in a MAGA hat, and it was literally just an
Oh,
account that
God, I
like
forgot all about MAGA.
Edit.
Goodness.
tweeted
Edit,
about
edit.
it. Just
Who said
tweeted
that-
shit
who
that
said that
sounds
was
like
edit?
Edited.
what's
Yeah, for sure. That's great.
That was my
Okay.
burner.
All right. So
Uh-huh.
relevancy to Delvin means people know you are more than Delvin. If you are more famous
No.
than Delvin, you're a huge, well, relevant, popular star.
That is not true at all.
Delvin, what's the cutoff?
That is not true at all.
Where's
If
the
you're
line?
on Billboard top, I would say if you're in Billboard top 50, you're relevant
Super relevant.
because it gets a
Not
point.
relevant, super relevant.
Yes. Well, he
Super
is
relevant.
performing at the Super Bowl, so that is very
Okay.
relevant. And he just had
So,
a Vegas
uh,
vacancy.
Chase Beckham, super relevant.
who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is
He's on the billboard. I am just trying to
So what
apply
number?
your theory. You gave me your theory.
Let me see who Chase Beckham is. What number is
boy.
Chase Beckham?
73.
No, I said top 50. Ah,
Okay, hang on.
I did say
Okay.
top 50.
All right,
to
so
be
let's
fair.
continue on up this. Nate Smith, super relevant.
Who the fuck is that?
That sounds like a made up name.
That's 47. Nate
Nate
Smith.
Smith. I have never heard that man.
Oh, so you're telling me that there's a top 50 Billboard person that's not relevant? Possibly, that couldn't
He's
possibly
probably
be true.
he definitely probably relevant if he's Billboard top 50.
Oh my God,
He
he's
has to be relevant.
definitely
Somebody
relevant.
knows who
We
this
have
man
no
is.
idea who he is.
Yeah, somebody
Who's,
knows who he is.
Hey,
That's right.
question
That's right.
for you. Who's
Tried.
Cody Johnston?
He was a WCW champion in 1994.
Yeah, apparently
fought
he's now
Psycho.
number 44 on Billboard. Are they super relevant? Because I have no idea who the fuck that
Delvin,
is.
tell me how much you listen to Warren Ziders.
That is a made up name also.
27.
But they're probably just
27
they're
artists.
probably just not. But they're
27.
probably just not in my circle. That's all it's
The point that the only point
certain
that I was
artists-
trying to make from the get-go is there's a difference between success, popularity, and relevance. You said he's relevant. I don't think Usher's been relevant in a decade.
He's performing at the Super Bowl. How are you not relevant if you're performing?
That's the most
at the
relevant
Super Bowl?
thing that's happened to him in 15 years.
And he just had a Vegas residency, and he's going back.
A
and
Vegas
he's going on tour.
residency? If you have a Vegas
Yes.
residency, you're not relevant. That is like the
Yeah, but-
definition of no longer relevant.
I think that's changed
No,
with the
that is-
pandemic. Like I think residencies are becoming more
That
of a
is
regular
definitely
thing in Las Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
something I've
it is.
noticed.
People
Like I haven't
don't-
dug
It is.
deep into it, but like there's a lot more people having residencies in like Vegas, you know, and it's not just Carrot Top
That's
anymore.
the thing.
Like
Not just Carrot Top
Yeah,
and
it's-
Brittany.
yeah, or
bigger
George
For
songs,
8
yeah.
years,
Um,
just singing the same song, doing the same show over and over again.
Sorry, are we saying Chris Angle Court or Chris Angel? Did you misspell?
That's what they have in Canada.
No,
In
no.
Canada, they have Chris Angle.
That's Kurt. That's Kurt Angle's cousin. He also was the WCW champion. Beat David
and then there's
Arquette.
your cousin
All
right
right,
angle.
all right. Anyway,
you know.
I'm sorry to take over the show. I've said my piece. You cut this out. I think I've made my point.
No, we're not cutting shit out.
No, I think I've
Do
made
it
my point.
live.
I like how I like how
I can't-
Delvin was having this
I-
after show idea of shit talking, and then Donnie was like, "No,
I'm not
we're
having that.
going."
No.
I can't.
Yeah, say it
Look
to
at
my
me now.
face.
Look at me now. I am the captain.
I can't wait till my half black brother Dev hears this, and his black side gets mad.
Delvin, how much Morgan Wallen do you listen to?
Morgan Wallen,
Yeah.
that's the GOAT.
You know
Best
the
artist
number
alive.
14 and 15 on your chart.
So good.
He's
They're
got to
there
be the
twice.
most. He's twice as relevant as Usher by
Of
your
course.
standards.
Twice,
You
no,
guys-
4 times.
You guys are
I don't even know who
hilarious.
that is. So
Hey,
Yeah.
also, I'm pretty sure Morgan Wallen is a woman.
Close enough.
there's a picture of a man.
Oh, okay.
Now maybe it's just an album cover. I don't know. Look. At the very end of the day, I'm by no means the judge on relevance. I'm listening to like the Doobie Brothers and shit. I don't know what's going on in these streets. I look to Delvin for education. I feel like I'm being led off a cliff here. It's like,
Like I
yo,
said.
Usher's like super relevant. You know, like get your Usher shirt. Like it's the top of the world. This is the man.
I knew I should have worn my Usher shirt today.
I,
You see how defensive he is?
I
He
can't
got-
wait
he went
till
hard
my,
for Usher.
Okay,
He
so-
did
I
none
can't
of
wait.
this.
I can't wait till my mulatto brother Devin Tyus hears this.
Lotto.
I like how you keep specifying not black.
I'm not trying to
Like,
touch that
on
at all.
purpose.
Cut him half and half. This is a
Oh
creamer.
my god.
like this has been the most ongoing bit between you two for like 3 weeks now. What what the hell is going
With
on?
that, I will see myself out.
His black side's gonna
Donnie's
be
like, I'm not
furious.
getting into this. I'm
Yeah, I'm
out.
not getting into
I
this.
said my
I
piece about
dodged-
Usher.
I dodged
not getting into
enough
this
on our
yin-yang
actual show.
situation.
I'm not doing it. So I'm gonna go. You guys have fun.
Back away, not today. Just
He's
go
not half.
away.
He's not half as relevant. Just like Delvin, just like Dev is half. Usher's half as relevant as you think he is.
No,
And
Usher's
enjoy
good.
the show. And I like your name, Delvin. Good name.
Yeah, it is. Why am I here?
Damn. I don't know.
Because he
Hilarious.
joined the show, so he took your name. Oh.
Oh, here we go. Mixing and matching.
You're there. I don't know why it's not showing you. Why did it do that? There we go. You
It's a
guys are
great
back.
question. Uh-huh. Your name didn't change though.
That doesn't
Whatever. He's
Who gives
Donnie.
a shit?
Okay. Okay.
I'm done.
Also, so Morgan Wallen is indeed a white person, but
well, we
like,
got it by the name Morgan.
they are also
No.
the most stereotypical white man I've ever seen.
Maybe the Super
Well-
Bowl isn't relevant. It's relevant.
It's not
Sorry.
relevant this year. Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, it would have been nice if the Lions made it, but whatever.
Congratulations
fun.
to Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Sure.
Congratulations to Taylor Swift's team. As some say, the chefs.
The chefs. Kansas City chefs.
Kansas City chefs. Yeah.
This
We should
okay, but
just leave this quote on here for the whole show. 'Cause that
Oh
would
shit, Haley, we
describe
all knew that. Yeah.
that would describe my relationship with Haley to a T. With Haley and my son to a T.
yeah, it's the tism, and you know it.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
my
yeah.
love for both of these two. It's the same thing. And I literally say it all the time with both of them.
Yeah, you definitely don't know those.
So, I guess we'll start with Haley, so Haley can run down your way. How's your week been, Haley?
It's been all right. It's been really busy with work still. It's been unusually busy for February, actually. I worked last night at a clothing store at 5 p.m. and we were done by like 10. And then I had to be up for a store at 6:30 this morning and we were done by 10 to 8.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean, nah?
Just not
Oh
now.
boy. Oh. Okay.
No, he said he's got to stay around.
Yeah.
Just in case I say something slick.
No. This morning was a shoe store, so it was all right.
Was Al Bundy there?
No, Al Bundy was not there. My
Speaking
coworker
of relevant,
is that man even
No,
alive?
that's irrelevant.
yeah,
he's still alive.
I think Ed O'Neill. I think he's still alive.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen him on TV since what? What was that show he had with
with the
the
younger
incredibly
lady?
beautiful woman?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember her name right now.
I don't know
Sophia
what you're
Vergara.
talking about. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Modern Family.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
why I seen him on
not
TV.
something I watch.
yeah, I didn't watch it either.
Yeah.
But anyway, shoe store. So that
Yes,
was fun for
that-
you.
We started at 6:30 and we were done by 5 to 8.
Yeah, is that a good thing or a bad
That's
thing?
not bad.
I mean, I get paid for 3 hours, but I didn't get out of there until 9 anyways. So, you know,
This is when you have to take a lot of cigarette breaks so you can get more hours. Make a 3-hour shift a 6-hour shift.
I would still only get paid for 3 hours.
That's bullshit. If you work 6 hours.
I don't smoke, and cigarette breaks do not count as working. Anyways,
It should.
when I'm not working, I've been watching Supernatural still. I'm almost up to season 14 now. So,
Haley, how many times you watched this goddamn show?
Supernatural?
And note, there's like 30 seasons of this show, and Haley's watched this 30-season show like.
This is my second
ahead.
rewatch of Supernatural.
How many seasons is it, Haley?
15. There's 327 episodes.
Yeah, that's a decent amount.
And this is her second time going through it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I go through The Simpsons on a regular.
There's way more episodes of The Simpsons than there are.
So I am not going to throw stones in this glass house.
And also,
Hold on,
this
so
is not.
You
this
watched
is,
all of The Simpsons?
Yeah, everything except for season 35 because it's not on Disney Plus yet.
Jesus Christ.
and that is nothing compared to when Delvin knows that, like, at least once a year I try and rewatch the Arrowverse, and there are over 700 episodes of all of those shows combined.
Donnie's favorite corner, CW
I'm not doing
recap.
that shit.
I mean, getting that out of the way. The only thing I've really been watching is Supernatural. While I finish, I did start rewatching Flashpoint this morning as well while I was at work because I had nothing to do for like an hour. So
That's the CW. Is that the cartoon or the animated movie? Or?
Flashpoint is a Canadian TV show about the Strategic Response Unit in Toronto.
I remember that show.
Oh, I was thinking
didn't
the
last
Flash
long.
from DC. My bad.
It's a CSI type show almost.
It's more Criminal Minds where it delves into the thought process behind the criminals than it does the actual crime itself. So
didn't it have like 2 seasons or something like that? I remember that show.
5.
Okay.
There's 100 episodes total. So or 75 actually. Sorry, something like that.
You're playing any games, Haley?
Yes. Since the last time we recorded, I've gotten almost all of the trophies for No Return from The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. The only one I have left is do a daily run on Grounded, which fuck that. play on all modifiers. And
Okay.
I don't remember what the third trophy for no return is, but I've got 3 of those left. And then the only other game I played since it came out when I got early access on the 30th is Suicide Squad. So,
This is what I want to talk about. So, have fun with it.
I am having fun with it.
Yourself?
I am. I beat
Having
the
a good time?
campaign. Actually, I beat the campaign. I've done a bunch of the online stuff because I have 82% of the achievements. 82%.
Can I? I'm glad you brought this up because I got to tell you, I fucking hate this game.
I know.
I don't like it. I do not like. The more I'm playing it, the more I realize I hate this fucking game. It's so generic. I'm playing it, and I like the story so far.
Mm-hmm. Where
But
are
every time
you
I get
in
to
the story?
Not far at all. Not far at all. But I'm finding it like annoying to get through because you keep getting like these they're like filler fights and stuff like that. Much like a multiplayer game, which is it pretty much is. Like, hey, you gotta go kill these random ass monsters in this area. Oh, you cleared out the area, get your loot. I'm like, all right, I don't want to do this shit no more. This is fucking terrible.
Well, especially
guess-
coming
I just
off
wanna
the
fight
heels
Green Lantern.
of like the Arkham series, which was completely different.
Oh no.
gameplay.
Snerts. This is still the Arkham series.
No,
This
I know
game
it's
is
still in the same
100%
universe,
connected.
right? But like because of that connection, much more than Gotham Knights, folks probably have this expectation of a certain type of game, and this is completely different. Which is why I was very, very hesitant to take the plunge. And now it's going to be one of those things where if it's free or maybe $20, I'll sign up for it just to get through the story. And from what I've seen, because I was watching a few people play the game on YouTube, and it looked so busy, like all the colors, and it's like you're bouncing from rooftop to rooftop, and like it was a very like crowded, chaotic looking thing, which just felt so different than the Arkham games that came before it. So Delvin, like, is part of your disdain for this game because like Arkham series was like amazing and you loved it, and now you're coming back into this universe and you get this.
That plays a very small part of it, but I think more of the bigger part is I don't like it. I just don't like it. It plays like bad Fortnite.
Oh,
That's funny because I actually find this gameplay more enjoyable than Fortnite. So
okay.
I don't dig it at all. Like,
hey, by the way, so your son messaged me about this game, by the way, which I don't think he's even played yet. By the way,
no,
I know he hasn't. He has it installed because he wanted to play with me, and then he saw something that happens in the story, and he got real mad. Here's my hot take, though. I don't have a problem with what he did. And so I'm not going to spoil this game as much as people would love me to do that because I know 90% of the PSVG audience is not going to play this. I'm still not going to spoil it. However, a character who is not in this game, like they're not in this game at all, like I'm not spoiling anything, but a character who was integral to past games is killed off screen. And it's revealed to you in a cutscene, and your son is very mad about that. Can you guess the character?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know he yelled at me about this too. Like, this is stupid. It's really dumb. The game is really bad.
Here's my favorite part. That doesn't make me mad at all because guess what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you the name of the character. I'm not spoiling anything else about the game. Yeah, this game kills Tim Drake off screen. Guess what? That's fine because Tim Drake in the Arkham series is not Tim Drake. It's basically Dick Grayson 2. Like, and I love Dick Grayson as a character, but if you're gonna put Tim in the game, you should have Tim be Tim and not be a carbon copy of Dick Grayson. Like, literally, like Tim is like fighting Bruce in most comic adaptations to be Robin because Bruce does not want a new Robin after what happens to Jason. This game is nothing. This game is like the whole Arkham series treats Tim as like Dick 2.0 to the point where Barbara is in a relationship with Tim, not Dick.
Yeah, I mean, the only real exploration you have of his character is in the DLC pack where you play as Batgirl in the pier at the amusement park with Joker. Other than that, he just kind of shows up and he's like, "How come you let me join you, Batman? Why am I stuck in the cave, Batman?" You know, so
here's my favorite part. Like, he shows up in Arkham City, but the Robin you play as is Dick. You don't play as Tim. You play as Dick.
Because everybody loves Dick.
Everybody loves Dick. I mean, you know.
Yes. So Tim Drake shows up as Robin in Arkham City after Batman is infected, right?
Right.
Yes.
With Joker's blood.
Yes.
And then the DLC where you play as Robin for short periods of time, you're playing as Dick Grayson as Robin, which makes zero sense because at that point, Dick Grayson is Nightwing. Like that makes zero sense.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played the DLC for City. I only had it for Night. And by then, Dick Grayson is Nightwing, like the whole time.
It's real weird. Anyways, they kill him off screen in this game as part of the revelation of how the Justice League was turned, and it's not even a good.
The example of them becoming bad is them killing Tim.
No, it's just Bruce killing Tim.
Oh, just Bruce. Okay.
Not even. It's such a bad. The storyline is told kind of bad. Everything about this game is just bad. Like, hey, you got to go find Penguin. I got guns for you. You got to go find more loot. Like, fuck off. And then
so Penguin's the arms dealer who's providing upgrades.
Penguin, Toyman, and Poison Ivy are all in this game. They're all vendors. They're all vendors.
Know what the funny thing about it is? Know what the funniest thing about it is, Snerts? I'm going to get to it because I think this is fucking ridiculous. Note that all the people Haley said are vendors in the game, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's a point in the beginning of the game. This is not a spoiler. It's early in the game where you find out, you got to kill the Justice League. It's like, you have fucking Captain Boomerang, fucking Shark Boy, Harley Quinn, and Deadshot. She's like, yeah, you motherfuckers go kill the Justice League. Like,
sure.
And why them? Like, out of all the villains in Arkham that are still alive,
by the way, the only one of those characters to inherently have superpowers, by the way, is the Shark. So,
everyone else is peak human, and tech.
Not even peak human. Everyone else is like human.
No, Captain Boomerang's peak human. No, that guy's he's an Adonis.
Oh, by the way, every word that comes out of Captain Boomerang's mouth makes me want to punch him in the face.
I mean, that is his character. That's pretty consistent. Yeah, he's just a dumb asshole that everybody hates.
Yes.
But it's such a weird thing that Amanda Waller, who is known for being like a genius, is like these four slubs. Go kill Superman. Like, what?
Oh, here's my favorite part. Okay, sorry. Slight spoilers, by the way.
She's already going back.
Yeah. Lex Luthor gets fucking murdered in this game, and it means nothing 15 minutes later. So literally, in your mission to kill the Flash, you have to rescue Lex. Oops, the Flash phases his hand through Lex's heart. Oops. Then you kill the Flash, end up on Earth 2, and rescue that Lex.
It's so
man,
fucking bad.
That's weird.
Literally, it's really bad.
You literally you're trying to rescue Lex because he gets blown out of the air in his war suit by a cannon on a roof or something that Brainiac put there. Whatever. It's weird. The suit gets destroyed and he gets put in a shipping container. Then you go to rescue him. And then the Flash just comes up behind him and goes with his hand right through his heart. And he goes, "Oops, didn't mean to do that." And then you fight him.
Yeah, okay.
Haley.
Also, then you get put in a shipping container by Wonder Woman, and Harley's all excited about it, and Deadshot is apparently claustrophobic.
Yes, Haley.
Yes.
Lex Luthor is arguably one of the powerful villains in DC Comics, but his intellect with his mind, with his ability to create tech and weapons.
Yep.
Why not recruit him first? The man who actually knows how to kill Superman.
Oh, here's my favorite part. So, sorry, another one. He is how you kill Superman, by the way. Superman is the final boss before you fight Brainiac. Hey, I have a question. Why the fuck is Lex Luthor developing gold kryptonite when it already exists in canon? Batman has some in Arkham Knight. What are we doing?
Gold coin fan.
Yeah, that sounds like he's like, I'm going to get into Bitcoin. I'm going to, get some NFTs going. I'm Lex Luthor, smart man.
For anyone who doesn't know Superman lore, gold kryptonite can, depending on who's doing the writing, either permanently remove a Kryptonian's powers, or, as in most writing, remove their powers for 15 minutes. It does neither of that in this game. All it does is temporarily weaken Superman so you can shoot him with bullets.
Which fits the gameplay. So
I wish I had some gold kryptonite right now to remove this game from my life. From this conversation.
So, by the way, people hearing me going, I'm enjoying this game and then shitting on it. Yeah, I can be critical of things I enjoy.
That is true.
You can also like bad things. That's okay.
Yeah. But the story's a bit weird and stupid things happen. By the way, for Wonder Woman's origin, they also went with the stupid daughter of Zeus thing. So she's still made of clay, which is further enforced by the fact that Superman fucking melts her into into non-existence.
Oof.
I do too, Donnie. I do too.
Yeah.
Literal.
How about is the voice acting good though? Because I know we got like Tara Strong, right, doing Harley.
Okay,
it is.
And Conroy, Kevin Conroy doing Batman for the last time, maybe. Does it at least come through? Because I'm a huge fan of DC animation since I was a kid, and that is like one of the things I loved about the Arkham series as well, is that they took a lot of the people who were doing the animation and put them in the video game as well. So is that like a silver lining in this turd sandwich?
So the voice acting is really good. So you've got Tara Strong as Harley Quinn, Samoa Joe as King Shark, who's just like chewing scenery the entire time. So
great.
He's
the AEW champion, Samoa Joe.
He is really having a blast playing King Shark. And then I don't remember who's playing Harkness, but that's a thing. I don't know who's playing Deadshot either. They do all right, but like I said, everything that comes out of Boomerang's mouth makes me want to punch him. And then you've got Jason Isaacs as Brainiac, and Nolan North as Superman.
Okay, yeah,
they do good. By the way they introduce Superman in this game is so weird because he's like absent for like 80% of the plot, and then you took down the Green Lantern. You did good. Now we're going to fire a fucking nuke at the goddamn ship in the sky. Yeah, we're just going to... We've got civilians still in the city, and we're going to fire a fucking nuke at the goddamn skull ship in the sky. What do you know? Superman catches it in midair, and you just see his face lit up with, like, the purple veiny shit. And he, like, flies out of the city.
Syphilis.
And yeah.
He has syphilis.
Yeah. He's got super syphilis.
Yeah. That's why he
can only be cured with purple kryptonite.
He flies out. By the way, that's a form of kryptonite that doesn't actually exist. So good joke.
I tried. I was thinking of all the colors.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. But no, he flies out of the city limits. It explodes. There's radioactive fallout everywhere, and then like Waller gets attacked. A bunch of shit happens. Anyways, it's all stupid, but like the contrivance here is okay, so Superman's bad. And then like the whole plot to kill him happens, right? But all of this is further contrived by the fact that like none of these characters want to be there. The only character who seems to want to be in the city is Wonder Woman, and she literally dies in Harley Quinn's arms.
Haley just spoiled the whole goddamn game for everybody.
I saved your life.
It's terrible. Don't play it.
Yeah.
Don't play
I'm having a blast. I've had to actually play online multiplayer to try and get the rest of the achievements for this.
No.
Here's my favorite part, by the way, because as I said, you go to Earth 2, and obviously you know the Joker's coming in like 3 weeks. I want to know what the fuck they're doing when they introduce him, because it's an
I don't like
Elseworlds
this.
Joker.
I think
It's-
the
Talk about
DLC
anything
packs
else,
are going to
Snerts.
be, or the end game content is just going to be even more bonkers and wild, and they're just going to pull anything they want. And they,
I
this
mean,
is more of like
again-
the rule of cool than any kind of like semblance of coherent plot.
Here's my favorite part. So I'm sure Delvin already knew this from the leaks that came out a while ago. You kill the entire Justice League here. Hey, guess what? By season 3 of post-release content, all of them except Wonder Woman are back. All of them.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what comic books for. I mean,
I mean, it is comic books, but what is the point? Because let me point out, like, I don't have a problem with the way Batman dies here. Like, I don't. I genuinely don't. But 2 things about that scene. Harley shoots him with the revolver, which, okay, that's fine. But when she shoots him, you hear the shell clatter on the ground behind her. Does nobody know how a revolver works? Because you don't.
Yeah, the shell doesn't
That
come
doesn't
up and
work.
out, right? I was wondering if Batman dropped pearls after he got shot by Harley.
He did.
He did not.
Okay,
He does
he
sit
just
there
didn't,
and
like
taunt
let
you
go
the
of
entire
Martha's
time.
necklace and go, "Mommy."
Yeah. But so, like, apparently season 1, like this next season, like 2 weeks from now or whatever, there's like leaked audio of both Green Lantern and Flash being alive. And one of the audios is Barry Allen being like, look, I get killing us when we went evil. I even get bringing villains into it. But why are we alive? I hear Waller hates us. And I'm like, this is the dumbest audio I've ever heard.
Please. I'm glad we had this conversation because I don't never want to talk about this fucking game ever again.
Well, and it's weird because like I like the superhero talk, and I love these
Gotham Knight-
characters. So it's kind of a bummer.
Gotham Knight, I owe you an apology, Gotham
No,
Knight.
you don't.
Oh
You do
wow!
not.
I have mistreated you. I have
Whoa.
mistreated you so wrong.
You do not. Look, I'm sorry. They're
News at
both not
11.
No. They are both they are both not great games. I am sorry. The story for this game is better than Gotham Knights because
I agree with that.
Gotham Knights kills Batman in the opening, then brings him back and kills him twice in 15 minutes. Fuck off.
I love it.
And also-
every game's gonna kill Batman now.
That's fine. I don't care if Batman dies. But if you're gonna do it, either do it or don't. Like, don't do this flippy floppy shit. Oh, and also, if you're gonna do one of the most famous storylines for Batman ever and use the Court of Owls, do it properly and not wishy-washy like Gotham Knights does. Sorry. Like, don't fucking ruin the
hate this. I don't never want to play another DC game again. I think I might be done. I might be done.
Until they come
They-
up
they
with John
burned me too many
Stewart Green
times.
Lantern on the PSVR, and then you're going to be back.
They gotta fuck that up too.
Here's my favorite part. That would require A, Warner Brothers to actually give a fuck about VR, and
Yeah, I
B,
know.
Warner Brothers to unfortunately give a fuck about John Stewart, which
You're correct.
That would also require Warner Brothers to actually give a fuck. Period. Because they haven't been giving a fuck about any of the stuff they've been doing.
Yeah.
Also,
Cartoons
dude,
have been trash.
that fucking Coyote versus Acme story where Zaslav hasn't even watched
Yeah.
the movie and wants to burn it. Fuck off.
Yeah.
All right, Snerts, how's your week been? Because
I'm good. Everything's just been plugging right along. I've watched actually a lot of movies recently because I had to get a new soundbar. My receiver of 20 plus years died on me, and instead of getting another one and dealing with speaker wire again, I decided to upgrade to a Sonos Beam Gen 2 soundbar, which is
How is
man, I'm in the future and I love it. It connects to everything really well. I'm listening to a podcast on my iPad and I could throw it to the speaker. I have all the controls on my phone and it's very obvious what those are. Like old receivers, I love them, don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of features on there that were just way over my head. But what came with the soundbar is a free month of Amazon Prime. So not only did I get it within 2 days of the lovely shipping, I also got to see such things as Invincible Season 2, at least the first half, and I'm really enjoying that. as well as Reacher season 1 and 2, and the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Here's my question. So
yes.
how is Amazon Prime with ads?
It's stupid. Like, I am not paying for this. I have an alarm on my phone that says like the day before, like it renews. I'm like, we are canceling this shit.
Here's my favorite part, by the way. So you know how, Delvin, you've had Prime before, right? So you know that they used to.
I still have Prime.
I know, but like when you, I'm using you as reference for before the ad stuff happened. You know how they would have pre-rolls of those shows, right?
Correct.
Okay. Did you buy the ad-free option for Prime?
I don't think I had to. I think
you
because
did.
if I remember correctly, they sent me an email saying I had Prime so long, I'm grandfathered in or some shit like that.
Interesting. I had to. It's $3 extra a month. Guess what? When you buy that, those things that they had before they put ads in the service, they're gone. Which is the funniest fucking thing because Amazon was like, nah, these aren't ads. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's an ad. Like, and clearly they also view it as an ad because I don't get them anymore when I watch them.
You know what I'm doing here right now, Haley?
Yeah.
I'm looking up Sonos speakers and I'm realizing that Snerts has some money.
Yeah, it was, yeah, it wasn't terribly cheap.
Yeah. Snerts might have a little bit of money in his pocket.
Like,
yeah,
I have
$10 to my name, which is why I can't afford my $160 medication.
Oh, these are not $10.
No.
Yeah, I know.
I'm also the kind of person who likes to spend a little bit extra on tech because it'll last longer. And
that's fair.
You know, so also no wife, no kids, just me.
That's why you have money.
So disposable income is a little bit easier to come by.
Yeah, that's why.
You know.
Which one do you have, Snerts? The immersive set with the beam?
I just have right now the Sonos Beam. That's just it, just the sound bar. But I am thinking about getting a subwoofer because the bass is good for what it is, but it wasn't as deep as like I used to have these 2 towers with like, you know, each tower had 2 8-inch subwoofers and a tweeter. So like that was much more deeper sound. But it's nice, man. I love it. I love the new toy. You know, and it does sound nice when you connect it and you get all the settings going with the PlayStation. I did turn off like the fake 3D sound because it just didn't work well for my setup. It didn't sound right. Like it was a little off. But maybe I still need to get used to the settings because it is a fairly new thing. I've only had it for like a couple weeks.
So when you say the fake 3D audio, you're saying the 3D audio through the subsystem itself or the actual console?
The actual console. Yeah.
Okay. So the actual, like the tip with the 3D audio for the actual TV thing is to not use it technically. So I use it, but purely because I'm using the Atmos setting for my TV.
Okay.
It actually works. If your TV does not have the ability to drop into different like Dolby settings like itself without the speaker, don't use the 3D audio for your
Yeah, it just sounded kind of weird when I was playing games and like certain things that were supposed to be behind me didn't sound like they were behind me. They sounded like they were kind of off to the side, or like the volume would like drastically jump from up or down depending on like the angle of it. But yeah, it's I don't know. I had the last system for I got it when I was 20 and I'm 41 now. So I feel like after 21 years of that investment, it's down to put another one in, and hopefully it'll be another 20 years before I need to buy another setup. Because now I have the PS5, the TV, the new soundbar. Like I told myself, stop it. You've upgraded enough. Maybe the subwoofer if I get a good paycheck later this year, but we'll see. And also, like I have to say, Delvin, in the previous episode, you mentioned you heard Reacher sucked. I'm now on more of the fence of like it's okay, because I had a couple of friends who loved it, and I kind of found it a little bit boring. I thought the main actor was a little bit monotone with his performance, and
that's just the character in general. Like,
so is this person is Reacher on the spectrum or autistic or something like that? Because like he goes into these rants like, oh, she was going to get off the plane and get a coffee and then take a dump, and now they just did it. That means she's going to be exactly 30 minutes. She'll be here.
Okay, you know? So he's not originally written that way, but
Okay.
the creator and his son, who they write the books together now, have become open to the fan idea of yes, he's probably on the spectrum,
Okay.
which is probably why I like the show so much. And I have Killing Floor, which is the first book up
Yeah.
on my
Yeah, no,
nightstand.
I know you're a fan.
But I will say, here's the problem. So season 1, really fucking good, and I know you probably agree with that. Like season 1 is
it's solid.
consistent all the way through. Season 2 did itself a disservice because I don't know if you know this, but the book they chose to follow for season 2, Delvin, take a guess which book number it is.
Book number 4.
Snerts, take a guess which book number it is.
I'll double that. We'll go 8.
Book 11, which, by the way,
Oh,
is the only book in the series where Reacher is not a lone wolf and is working with a team. And they did themselves a disservice because what they should have done is build up his relationship with that team through seasons to work to that. Like, I'm not saying make 11 seasons and go through that. Like, you could have picked like different books and like built those characters in through backstory. Because, little known fact, Neely is not actually in the first book. She's in the first season, and that was a creative choice to add Neely to build backstory with her. Snerts knows who I'm talking about. I know you don't, Delvin.
nope.
But that was a creative choice from the writers to add that character in so that like you have that going for the second choice. But they should have done that with the other members of Reacher's team. And instead, Neely was the only one he really solidified his relationship with. And that kind of hurts season 2. They've already said that they picked the book for season 3 because the show did get renewed. And it'll be another lone wolf adventure. But I don't know why they chose book 11 for season 2. Like, it's a bit weird.
And what you're saying really rings true to me, because the favorite part to me of this series is the little moments when Reacher is just being Reacher. So I'm thinking of the opening season 2. There's obviously a woman who's been through some shit at an ATM, and she's crying, and Reacher's like, "Don't look behind me," like, blah blah, is your car, blah blah. And like then so it ends up this guy was getting carjacked and her kid's in there, and the guy had a gun, and he just went full Reacher on that situation. I'm like, that's what I want. I want these little moments where he is being the vigilante hero that we all wish we could kind of be on the inside when we're seeing something unjust and wrong, and just go and beat some fucking heads in.
So my favorite thing about this, Delvin, just to give you because he's this scene pretty much happens word for word, but like my favorite part about this is bookended by him going in and out of a thrift store to buy clothes because
which is hilarious.
For those who don't know, Reacher is a retired military police officer, and he doesn't have like a home. He's pretty much like
he has a very Indian lifestyle.
Yeah. He's on the road all the time, so he's constantly buying thrift clothes and stuff like that. But he starts this by going into a thrift store to buy clothes. He gets a message from Neely that like a 10-4, like need your help kind of message. He leaves. He goes to go get money out of an ATM, and then this woman is sitting there crying, and she's like, "Don't look behind me. Like, is that your car?" She's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Just keep pulling money out. I'll be right back." And like, he literally walks up to the car, wraps the new jacket he just bought in his hand, punches through the car window, like slams this guy's head on the dash, takes his hand out the window, smacks it to get the gun out of his hand, and literally like in like the span of 30 seconds, this woman's car is back to her and she's able to get her son out of it. And he's like, "Take that gun inside the bank, take this cartridge, which is filled with ammo, into the bank, and the gun is in the car, call the police." And that Jack Reacher. And that is like how season 2 starts. And it's like, that's a good thing. And then some of it's like just weirder, where like it's like, "Don't mess with the special investigators" is repeated like 90 times over the course of season 2. Yeah. And it gets cliche. But then you have other things, like later in that same episode, he's being followed by a cop, and the cop's sitting in his car, and he's like, look at this beat. What's he gonna do? And Reacher just walks up and kicks the car, and the cop goes head first into his steering wheel.
Yeah, so it has like those crazy moments, and I felt like Robert Patrick, who is the T-1000 for us Terminator fans, as the villain in season 2, kind of fell flat because all he was doing was answering the phone until like the end. So yeah, like I think
like
it's
my
okay.
favorite-
I like the show overall. I just think my friends hyped it up a little too much because they were like Reacher this, Reacher that.
I think my favorite part of
I think I went into it with too high of expectations. If I didn't have those high expectations, I may be like, oh no, this is pretty good. So yeah.
Yeah. My favorite part of like him being the T-1000 is all the Terminator references they kept making over the season. Like,
Yeah, that was cute.
they directly mentioned Sarah Connor's like, I don't give a fuck who that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's
But
no
anyway.
Walker Texas Ranger.
No, there you go. My
Fuck
God.
that.
Roll
Fuck
everything.
that.
And then what have I been playing? I've been playing God of War Valhalla, which is fantastic. I completed it. Even though it's
This is a game podcast.
yeah. I thought I'd pivot. I thought that was enough Reacher. I mean, if you want to go for more Reacher, Delvin, you were so
Absolutely
like
not.
you couldn't shut up about
Delvin
Reacher.
doesn't want to go for more Reacher. He wants to go for the Reach round.
Heyo.
Whoa! I am not commenting on that at all. Whoa! This podcast took a turn.
I think it took a turn when we argued about Usher for 20 minutes at the start of this.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be wild all over the place as soon as it was like Usher Central for 30 minutes, but whatever. It's all, I'm all here for it. But yeah, God of War Valhalla, I loved it. Do you guys have the issue where you play a game that's kind of similar and then you go play so I went from Evil West to God of War Valhalla, and my God, it was like I was never played Kratos before because I was hitting the wrong buttons. I was getting my ass kicked left and right. And it took like a good 1 or 2 runs of the gauntlet Valhalla to actually remind myself no, this isn't Evil West. This is God of War Ragnarok. This is I think why I jump between different game types. I'll go from a first-person shooter to a fighter to a combat brawler. Do y'all have that issue too?
Sometimes, but
all the time.
The thing with Valhalla is that I hadn't played God of War in almost a year at the time it came out. But then you're meant to go through 1 or 2 runs of Valhalla and not do well anyway.
Correct.
The story literally demands it, right? So
yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I love how they tied it back to the Greek mythos. I like how it was therapy through combat. There was a lot of reconciliation going on with the character of Kratos and being responsible for his past deeds and trying to rationalize them and justify them for the moment, which I thought added even more depth to the character, which was fantastic. Have you guys? I know Hayley has played. Have you given it a shot?
I got all the achievements in it.
Oh yeah, there you go. Nice.
Not yet. I think I might do that now because I hate Suicide Squad so much. I gotta play something else.
That'll be a nice chaser. That'll be a good chaser for you.
So this is like the Alan Wake situation with Delvin, where I expected him to play it for an episode of the podcast, because that's usually what he does. Delvin knows that I'll be excited for a game and I want to discuss it on the podcast, and he'll buy it anyways, even though I know he's not going to enjoy it. And he'll play it.
I may go back to Alan Wake because of this game. I say maybe I was better off playing Alan Wake.
Let me go back to my board and make more connections.
Yeah. I'd rather deal with what I would, because the Alan Wake parts I didn't like that much. I'd rather deal with that than play Suicide Squad again. I think I'm done.
Well, and so the other game I was playing besides God of War Valhalla is High on Life. And I was inspired by that just because we were talking about Judas, with the PlayStation showcase. And I love comedy, and comedy games are hard. I don't know if you all have played many comedy games that are good. Most of them are mediocre at best. And I say High on Life fits that mold with some nice Halo-like elements for the combat and decent traversal.
That game got hard for me to play after you get the knife.
Because he just won't shut up.
Yeah, and it's not that it's he won't shut up, because 90% of the guns in that game never shut the fuck up.
Correct.
It's more of like the knife's dialogue is all about stabbing things, and I think like he makes several references to stabbing himself, which
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I've experienced suicidal ideation before. I'm not into a game where I'm just being shouted at to stab myself 90 times.
Sure. I didn't pick up on that myself, but yeah, he definitely had a thirst. And
also like the DLC for that game is all about the knife, and I'm like, oh, that's a choice.
Well, and when I looked up and it was only like an hour and a half, 2 hours of gameplay, I was like, that's not worth $10. I'm not going to do that.
No.
But you can definitely tell it was by Justin Roiland. It has his humor all over it. I mean, the main pistol is Morty from Rick and Morty. You got JB Smoove playing as the shotgun character too. So you got some fun voice actors doing their thing.
You do.
And I thought it was a very solid, basic story. Like aliens come down to Earth to use people as drugs, and you got to take out the gangsters through bounty missions.
Fun fact, that was the first recorded use of AI art in a video game. All of the posters in the bedroom in the house are all done with AI.
Huh.
Oh.
I don't know how I feel about that. Part of me is like, well, no one reads those posters, or very few amount of people look at the posters anyway, so who cares? Another part of me is like, you can also
watch a bootleg version of like Tammy and the T-Rex or something like that in that game.
They play, and it's an achievement as well. So like
I know.
They applied where you can. There actually has like this movie in the background, and I only recognize like one of the actresses from like she was in Starship Troopers, is like the elusive girlfriend. But yeah, it was kind of weird because you actually have an achievement if you just stay there and watch the movie, and I'm like, well, this
isn't it like a 2-hour long movie?
It's a full movie. They paid for the full licensing of it, which is wild.
Here's my favorite part though: when you turn streamer mode in that game on, the movie doesn't get disabled, so you still have to turn away from that because they got the rights for the game, but you don't have the right to stream the movie. And even if the dialogue plays while you're in the house, which is frequent because there's like 3 things that play on the TV, period.
Right. Yeah.
Which is always on and you can't turn off. You have to, like, if you're streaming that game, you have to get out of there as quick as possible because it will copyright strike you.
Interesting. And then the last thing I want to say is I really appreciated how the villains are kind of covered in this goop. And then as you're inflicting damage, like you see the goop get removed. So it's a very typical like overshield to health setup, but it was presented in a way that like really felt that matched the motif and the theme of the game. And I kind of like the little visual clues in that regard.
It's also probably the last time you'll see that franchise since,
Oh yeah, no, Justin has been shown to have terrible deeds. There's a reason.
Oh, that wasn't even it. I just mean like Squanch is like, are they even around still? I thought they laid a bunch of people off.
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
That's
like.
But anyway,
I was comment on Justin. Everybody knows that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's where my mind went. Maybe because I'm watching the new season of Rick and Morty too, and you can kind of tell that it's a little different. But
yeah.
C'est la vie. But yeah, those that's what I've been up to. Delvin, you been playing anything? You been watching anything?
Absolutely not. I've been busy with a whole bunch of random shit I have to do because life stuff. But over there, everything's okay. Just been super busy. Just recorded Shaq, which was really good, where we argued about other things besides Usher. And now I'm here.
The definition of relevance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get to the news. We got some stories to talk about. So the first one is something that was talked about on PSVG a lot this week, and I think Donnie and Dev did an excellent job kind of breaking it down because it's implications of a huge
change
shift in gaming in general. Not just like PlayStation. I think it's relevant to PlayStation very much, but it's a change in gaming as well. So I'll get to it. So a number of leaks happened over the weekend that seem to have big implications for Microsoft Xbox plans moving forward. Reports from The Verge and Xbox Era claim that 2 major Bethesda releases, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and Starfield, could both be coming to PlayStation 5, adding to the pile of multi-platform Xbox rumors that's been piling up over the past few months. Xbox head Phil Spencer announced a quote-unquote business update next week, which is tomorrow, seemingly in response to those rumors. So, both of you, what do you think about the idea? I kind of know what Haley speaks about it, but we'll get to it.
Well, yeah, but I do want to clarify because I know this podcast will probably release at some point tomorrow. Let's just be clear. When Phil Spencer said next week, as in like tomorrow, there's no guarantee that business update is Monday. It could be Friday. It could be any day this coming week. We don't actually have any concrete information on that. But yes, Snerts, let's hear from you because everybody knows my opinion on exclusives.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all in the same boat as like the more people who can play games, the better. I, for one, who came from the 360 and original Xbox, would love to see Halo and Gears of War on the PlayStation. I don't know if that comes in the version of Game Pass or if it comes just as games directly. I'm all for it. I think the whole concept of Xbox becoming more of a software and game service provider instead of a hardware provider is fascinating. And to be honest, it could be like a great angle to stay, like relevant and get as many eyeballs on your products as possible by, going to the console that's out, selling 2 to 1. So I think it's fascinating and very excited to see more games that were exclusive to Xbox come to the PlayStation, even if it's in the same vein as PlayStation games coming to PC and we have to wait a couple years or something like that. I would still be into it because if it's Halo, like I'm going to be in. I'm going to be ready to strap up with Cortana and blast some aliens.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Delvin.
So I will say that well, I'll say this before you go ahead because I think it's important to add context what Sniff was saying.
Mm-hmm.
For those who are on the internet, this was a very tumultuous week for Xbox fans on Twitter and social media sites. They were livid about the whole thing.
Yes.
They were very mad. They were doing like you see a lot of videos of them like trading in their Xboxes and them showing receipts of the credit they got from GameStop. People were very, very upset about this rumor because it's not even confirmed yet.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know.
So
True.
Here's my favorite part of this. I'm all for this, and again to the counterpoint of well, what if PlayStation did it? I'm all for that too. Everybody knows I don't care about exclusives. If more people tomorrow can play The Last of Us, God of War, Infamous, whatever, go for it. That's fine. I don't buy a box for exclusives. I buy a box because I like the interface and I'm ingrained in the ecosystem. But that ecosystem doesn't have to have exclusive games for me to want to buy it. I have a gaming PC and I buy 90% of the games I play on console still because it's just easier for me to do that. Granted, I also have a bottleneck with my graphics card, but I mean, I could work around that probably if I just bought GeForce Now or whatnot, right? I could work through that bottleneck, but I still choose to buy 90% of the games I play on PlayStation just because I like the controller. I like this. I like this controller, right? That's a good controller for me to use, fits my hands, doesn't cause issues. I like my Xbox controller as well, but I'll be honest, I haven't turned my Xbox on since December. Right?
There you go.
It just happens, right? If tomorrow they come out with this business update and they're like, yeah, we're going full multiplayer. Cool. I'll buy a bunch of those games. Honestly. But I don't know that that's what it's going to be because again, this rumor came out and then you had people backpedaling and it turns out nobody really knows what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, there has been a lot of back and forth with it. I said Halo and Gears. I mean, that's to me that to me is the most rumor mill of rumors when it comes to
Yeah, so those were referenced this week, but the original rumors started with Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush, which
correct.
We do have credible. Those are credible reports. We know those are definitely happening. Well, mostly we know those are happening. We don't have concrete information, but it's pretty clear because it's come up multiple times a bunch through reports, right? But like through all of that, I'm all for the exclusive gateway going away, right? Like to use a recent PlayStation launch, Helldivers right now is probably receiving a lot more support than it would because it launched day and date with PC. And if it was on Xbox too, I guarantee you it'd be large, like really large.
And it's cross-platform, correct?
It is, yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
And like the videos and like cross promotion I'm seeing for Helldivers is great. It's not my style of game. Like I'm all for those who are enjoying it. I'm not going to buy it, right? Because I just don't like. It's not that the game doesn't interest me. I'm just not interested in a game where all I'm doing is really shooting bugs. Like I'm not a big Earth Defense Force fan either, right? But you know, like this stuff came out, and then like the rumors kept getting progressively larger. It was like, oh, so Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush, and then it went maybe Starfield, maybe Indiana Jones. Then Grubb came out and was like, maybe Gears of War. And others came out to corroborate Grubb. I'm not calling Grubb a liar because Grubb is usually correct, right? Like when Grubb says something, it usually happens. Like, and that's fine. But to go on, like to Delvin's point about all these Xbox people, you had people starting beef with Jeff Grubb because he mentioned that people were being really obnoxious about this. And like there were photos and videos I saw of people setting Xboxes on fire over this.
Yeah, like, the reaction to me for change, and when I wonder if this ties into like people's identity. Like they identify as an Xbox gamer. So because their identity is being threatened, they have a very negative, extreme reaction that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And also, like when it comes to Bethesda, they have historically been a all-platform developer. So why wouldn't they want to make more money and sell Indiana Jones on PlayStation, even if it's like again a year later?
Well, yeah, but this is again one of the things. Like before Pete Hines retired, this came out from Pete that this is exactly what they were arguing for. Like, why are we being constrained to not be continuing to be multi-platform when you're going after COD and you're telling people already they're going to be multi-platform? We've been multi-platform forever too. Why can't we? Right? Like you've had internal developers come out and say we were multi-platform before. Can we continue to do that? If this is that kind of strategy, you're going to have developers inside who are happy, and yeah, you're going to make some. And I'm not calling specific. There's one I'm going to call out later, like not as like a beef thing, but I'm pointing out that like I saw this yesterday and it's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But not to start beef, right? Like you've had all these people on Xbox who I might say Xbox kind of cultivated this kind of like relationship, and they're probably going to need to like right the ship themselves in the way that they interact with people on Twitter. But like some of these people are wild. Like yesterday, as I was getting ready for work, I saw, I think the guy's name is Tim Dog. He's an Xbox influencer. He was like directly attacking Jeff Grubb because Jeff Grubb did his usual Games Mess Decides podcast on Thursday and mentioned a couple of Xbox influencers, and he didn't say anything untoward about them. He was just like, look, they've been kind of upset on Twitter this week. Like this is kind of how it works, right? And Mike Minotti, who is Jeff's co-host, was like, oh, okay, well, I'm kind of glad I didn't know who these people were. And that was it. That's the conversation. And yes, Tim Dog guy started like a 45-minute long Twitter space where all he was doing was bitching about Jeff Grubb talking about like the response to people finding out that like some of these console war type accounts were like really losing their minds. But like, guys, if it's occasional Xbox releases going to other platforms, who cares? If it's all Xbox games going to other platforms, who cares? Like,
and I want to say John 32 is correct. I'm glad these assets aren't the PSVG community as well. Yeah, we got good people.
Yeah,
well, most of them.
Yeah, Delvin, behave.
No, but like,
look, I want to say something, but I think it's funny.
Go ahead.
Because I remember last year when the tables were turned. See, I know a lot of people don't remember this, but Delvin remembers. When
Uh-huh.
PlayStation fans was having a fit
Yeah.
about the show going to Xbox,
Yeah.
and they were livid.
Which again,
And I
who
just,
fucking cares?
I just kind of
Sorry.
no, you get. I just want to say I kind of think people just let. Sometimes you gotta let things play out. Like we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. We genuinely do not know. It's literally like it could just be like, hey, occasionally games that we release are going to go to other consoles. It could be everything's going there. But Yarden, you're going to get that. There's like
Just got to wait 3 years.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised after Helldiver's success to see PlayStation's PC strategy change. Just saying. But the way that this has gone down is just ridiculous. It's like you guys don't even know the full story, and you're out here burning Xboxes and like setting your games on fire, and then complaining on Twitter that like, well, why did I buy an Xbox then? I'm like, because that's the console you like to play on. Like who? And people are up here like, well, what about my digital library? And I'm like, nobody said the box was going away. Literally. Even Phil Spencer had
like. I'm just floored. Why people act like they wasn't enjoying their Xbox literally weeks ago?
Yep.
like,
Yep.
like
100%.
This news just came out and just ruined your whole experience with Xbox from day one. Like, fam,
Also,
it's
like,
okay.
I never understand this because this isn't just video games. Like something happens in society and a company does something and then people are burning products and saying, oh, betrayed this, betrayed that. And I'm just like, man, how are you going to spend hundreds of dollars on this shit? Like the sound bar I got, like if Sonos came out and says like, I'm voting for Trump is the greatest. I'm not going to go out there and throw my Sonos sound bar from like the balcony and be like, oh, fuck this shit. You know?
Absolutely not. I'm going to be like, you know what? I paid for this shit.
I paid for this shit, man. Yeah. Like you, so you all are, because it always baffles my fucking brain because people are like, I'm going to give this company money that I despise so I can burn their products on Twitter. Like, go fuck yourself. You're just being a baby. Like, get out of here.
So this is like to throw it to something else that's like ridiculous is like all these people that were like this is not a political statement, but like when the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light thing came out and people are like buying other beers that were owned by Busch, which is who owns Budweiser and like Bud Light and all that. And they were buying other Busch owned beer just to set it on fire or shoot at it. And I'm like, you guys are still giving the company you claim to be boycotting money. Like,
right. And then you're not drinking the beer,
really
which is, well, come on, drink the beer.
People really like, I'm not buying Bud Light anymore. I'm just going to buy Bud. Like,
yeah. Yeah. No. And Hayley's absolutely right too, because we don't understand, and I mean everybody, how many corporations are owned by other corporations and they're all part of the same network. Like,
that's my favorite part when people are like, boycott Disney. I'm like, good fucking luck. They own like
as they like are holding their lightsaber and wearing their Spider-Man shirt. Like, I hate Disney.
Yes.
You know, like
I have some news for you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's just, to me, a lot of maybe attention seeking. Maybe a few people do feel betrayed because they don't have good lives and healthy identities. But
it's like your identity.
I'm all for it.
Like, look, I'm glad you love your Xbox or your PlayStation or your PC, but that doesn't have to be your entire identity as a person who enjoys video games.
Yes.
Like, if someone else can play a game that's also released on your system but used to be exclusive to your system, that's great because more people get to experience a thing that you love. You should be excited about that, not upset.
Yeah, it's you know, sometimes it reminds me of like boys making a fort and saying no girls allowed, and then they wonder why their fort is so boring.
Yeah, I've always said that when I was a kid. I was like, "What? Yes, I'm not gonna be in this motherfucking fort.
Yeah,
fuck this."
Yeah, but you know, I for one welcome our new Xbox Game Pass world where it's universal.
And also, I do want to point out, because I see people consistently going, sorry for audio listeners. Donnie came into the chat and said Xbox Bro 69 lives.
Is that a particular reference that I'm not getting, or is that just like Donnie's?
No, it's just like
is that Donnie's game handle, or
no? It's Donnie's humor, and B, like an actual, like, I'm pretty sure that's an actual Xbox like fan Twitter account.
I'm quite sure all of them are.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But no, like,
this is definitely what Donnie would say. Me and Donnie, only girls allowed.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's
yeah.
Delvin and Donnie. Yes. That's one thing we definitely agree on.
But no, like again, I'm all for this barrier going away. But also, like, if you want people to, like, if someone gets to play Halo, and I'm not even talking Infinite, let's say Halo random, but let's say Halo 2 comes out on PlayStation tomorrow, you should be excited that more people are going to get to play a game that you loved, because that invites more people to be excited about the franchise you enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, that is how that should work, and it shouldn't matter to you where they played it. Like, I've chosen out of...
Better yet, why do you fucking care? Like, it doesn't change your gameplay experience because this motherfucker gets to play it. So
no,
what?
Exactly.
Who cares? Like, why are we so infuriated that these people who never got to play Halo 2 now get to play Halo 2 on PlayStation? Especially if it's an old... I can understand if there were new games day and date with PlayStation. Then I'm like, then I can see maybe that kind of lessens the importance of having an Xbox. But if they're like 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line, then who really gives a fuck at that point?
Yeah.
Like, you've played the game, you've enjoyed the game, you've beaten the game or didn't beat the game. Who cares if these people who never got to play the game gets to play it? It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, and I do wonder if this is the vocal minority, right? And the majority of people are just like, oh, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Yeah,
like,
let's do it. Yeah. All right.
Like,
more service, more access. Yes.
To use a reference like this is not political because it's who I am, right? But like, and me being me is not political. But to use a thing is like people like to use a gaming reference in a franchise. The Hogwarts Legacy boycott didn't work. Do you know why? 90% of people don't know about the fact that J.K. Rowling is an outright bigot, right? Like, yeah. I appreciate the thought from my family, but every year for my birthday or Christmas, I end up getting a Harry Potter gift from my sister.
Okay.
My sister has no clue about any of that. My sister's not on Twitter. She barely uses Instagram and rarely uses Facebook. So she's not seeing any of that. Like, none of it. 90% of people don't know. And again, game boycotts generally don't work. Like, the most famous one of all is the Modern Warfare 2 Steam boycott. And I'm talking Modern Warfare 2 2009, just so we're clear. Like, there was a bunch of people that
then they all played
correct, and they were all playing the game on day of release. And the reason they wanted to boycott it in the first place was because there were no dedicated servers. Yeah. And then all those people in that group were playing.
Yeah, I agree, Donnie. It's going to take time to reprogram.
But I agree. I
think the reprogramming is possible, and this is huge. This is why we're talking about it so much. This is why the network has been discussing this, rumors, because it is way different than previous models for this industry, and I think it might be time for a change.
Like, so let me just say, if Xbox pulls the cord here and does this, you will probably then see other companies follow suit. It only takes one.
Sure. Yeah. Especially again, if they can make more money off of this.
Exactly. Because what I was trying to say on the Game Pass notion is Game Pass is either going to get a price increase or something's going to change about the way Game Pass works. Because as other developers come out and pointing, it is like for developers, I'm sure it's still very successful for Microsoft, but for developers, it is no longer offering the returns that it used to. And that's just because the market has changed, right? So it's offering great returns for some, but not so great for others. It's all dependent on how that works. And so you may see the way the Game Pass works change. And this could be like if they pull the cord and like we're either given some games or all games, doesn't matter. You may see that change alongside the Game Pass change to recoup and make more money, which again is all these companies care about. Like they don't care about you or me or the little guy. They just care about making money, right?
Yeah.
I will say this. How cool will it be to have PlayStation gamers getting to play Gears of War for the first time? And on the flip side, having Xbox gamers getting to fucking play The Last of Us and seeing them experience the same things that we experienced when we first played that game and have the same conversation. This could be pretty huge. I know people are like, mad about it, but there are a lot of positives to this. Like I say,
Yeah.
And I know that the market is different now. Things are changing. Game Pass is a big thing for Xbox, and I think this is kind of another way to get more gamers to pay $70 for their games, and I think that's really cool. Like, there's a whole market of people who won't play Halo because it has the X on the box. But once you put that PS5 on the box, and like you can play it here as well, they'll be willing to try it. And I think that's really cool that we're getting to the point that maybe, because like I said, this is still all rumored.
Yeah, this is all still rumored. And I do want to point out, these rumors are going to continue until that business update happens. Like, there was more stuff that came out this morning, and like, bro, just let them speak. But it's going to keep happening. And again, like, we don't know what the full extent of this is, but as soon as someone pulls that cord, you will likely see the whole market change. And you know what? I think it'll be better because, again, all these companies care about is making money. And if you release your games everywhere, guess what? You're going to get more money.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's fun.
All right.
Yeah, I think Donnie brings up a good point. Let me read this.
Yeah.
On to our next question now. Donnie says, I wonder if the plan for Game Pass is to have an Xbox-only games version of the sub on PlayStation and Nintendo. This may be a first step to that end for Gears, Call of Duty, Bethesda, Halo, and etc. to get on the platform. I think that's a really good point. I think that's makes a lot of sense.
It would be. And I'll tell you right now, I would instantly buy that. Because, again, I play 90% of my games on PlayStation, and if I were to get that sub and have access to all that on the PlayStation, boom, like that, I wouldn't have to switch to play. And I love Forza. I enjoy Gears, right? Like, Kate, like, I know this is going to make Kyle mad, but Kate from Gears 4 and 5 is one of my favorite characters ever. But, like,
I like Kate.
Kate's good. Kyle doesn't like her, but like she's a great character, and if more people got to experience like meeting her and the relationship she cultivates with JD and Marcus, like I'd be excited for that.
No, and I think they're gonna have to like find ways to make people still feel special for buying an Xbox, but while expanding it, so be it early releases or some other kind of thing to differentiate the Game Pass on a PlayStation versus a Game Pass on an Xbox or PC. It seems like something that they should be able to easily do. So where you kind of get the best of both worlds. People are feeling like they still have exclusivity and they still kind of like have this special little thing, but more people are being able to play it because of access on the Sony platform.
Yeah, and just look at it this way. This is the simplest way to look at it. I think Game Pass has like 40 million subscribers right now.
Okay.
Something like that. Imagine if you can open that subscriber base up to Nintendo and PlayStation and all the consoles out there. They can.
You could double it. You could triple it. Yeah, something.
Double, triple it. Like that's huge. That's a huge opportunity for Xbox. So I don't see why they wouldn't take that chance if they had it. Just simple mathematics. I'd rather see Xbox do this than go away.
Oh yeah, I don't want Xbox going away. Like I don't.
Yes.
No, we need different people in this industry. We can't just all have like two, and it's not going to be good.
Yeah, and based off of the stuff they were saying before the Activision merger and stuff like that, it it was pretty bad for Xbox. They weren't like number 2. They were like a distant third when it came to Nintendo and PlayStation. So this helps them a lot. They need that division merger. They need the merger that they got. So
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, me too.
Our next story, which is more PlayStation focused. Spider-Man 2 is getting new Game Plus mode and much more coming next month. Marvel Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5 is getting a much-requested and previously teased new Game Plus option in March, as well as some highly requested features and new suits for Spidey. So, you guys excited for a new Game Plus?
Yes.
I mean, yes. I'm curious to see what they mean by new features because some of the features I've seen fans request are a little ridiculous. There may be a little extra mission or something. I know some of the stuff people have been requesting is the ability to change the symbiote color after the story ends because this is not a spoiler, but after the end of the game, you obviously still need to be able to have the symbiote powers. So you obviously get the anti-venom suit. You just can't change the venom powers to match. So like you could be wearing the black venom costume at the end of the game, but your symbiote powers are white. People have asked for the ability to change it back to black, right? And stuff like that. I've also seen people wondering if this is going to be like a stealth DLC release. I don't know, man.
No,
Well,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. They probably would have marketed that. Here's the thing. Like I'm gonna play through this again because I enjoyed Spider-Man 2. It was, it was there. But let me point out, because Matthew does do this, that is not how game dev works. And if you are at all tuned in to like the way these people have been treating Insomniac, no. I will concede a day-night cycle should have been in the game at launch. But other stuff that fans have requested, no. Because you don't think of that when trying to release your game. I'm sorry, you don't. And then the way that these people have treated Insomniac after they experienced a data breach, which I'm pretty sure potentially locked them out of their system for a little bit based on what developers who work at Insomniac have been tweeting.
I'm going to say this, and to be fair, I don't think most fans know about that, and a lot of fans probably don't even care about that. They're like, no, we're in the know, so we're a little different. Most people are like, we want this in our game. We want this in our game. They don't think about like all the things and suffering these companies have to go through to get this game out, including that huge data breach that affected so many people.
Yeah.
It's insane that happened, but it's just fans don't think about that type of stuff. And a lot of fans don't even know about it. They just know that, hey, the game that we want is out now, and we wanted these features in it, and we haven't gotten them yet. And I think that, I know, I say this because I know us three are in the know. We do a PlayStation podcast, we do a video game podcast, but we got to remember that a lot of people don't think about or know about these type of things that happen to these companies. So
yeah, or like the risk.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Doing the game testing thing, right? Like there comes a certain point before a game goes gold that they don't want you to do any bugs. They don't want you to do any fixes. They just kind of want to leave it alone, because anytime you make a little tweak, so like let's say like we fixed the symbiote colors, so it matches, and maybe we even added a whole rainbow of symbiote colors for people to enjoy. There's a good chance that like when you go in and you implement that fix or you implement that change, like that you have a ton of testing to do. You might be breaking the game. You could be getting blue screens of death. You can get some other kind of weird clipping or whatever. So it is a very labor intensive process to make the smallest bit of change. And, so sometimes like these bigger asks that people are having just aren't feasible.
Yeah. And again,
it's hard.
Yeah,
I've seen
it's really hard.
New Game Plus should have been in the game at launch, and I'm like, have you not been at all familiar with how Sony's like game retention strategy has been? Because God of War Valhalla didn't launch with New Game Plus.
Correct.
It came exactly 6 months later. Guess what March 7th is?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
6 months to the date.
Yeah, I mean, and also I kind of like it as a consumer because I put down the game, gives me a break, then I go, oh, new game plus. Yeah, let's dive back into the pool. It doesn't ship anymore. It's not like what Dead Space 2 came out and they had like new game plus ready to go.
So Matthew Dawson, who has a couple questions we'll be answering later, and is a frequent listener of the show. I do want to point out this game was complete at launch. Like that is not a thing we want to be spewing out here.
Yeah, Matthew.
No, I get what he said. He's saying like when you used to get a game back in the day, they used to come. That was the game.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Yeah.
But remember that 90% of the time, and this is not on nobody. Like Matthew knows, I'm not giving him shit just to give him shit. Like I'm literally like Matthew is I'm just having a back and forth here, right? Like I'm not shitting on Matthew because it's fun. Like, but the thing is, well, yeah, he's a Sonic fan, right? So, no, 90% of the games that used to launch like that never got patched. So if they were broken, that was it. Like,
yeah, patches are welcome.
They are welcome, and again, a lot of this stuff isn't not there because we want to elevate the time that people play our games. It's hey, this is stuff that we're still working on, but the game is complete and we can release it to you now, and we'll either sell you DLC later as extra. Like the game has a complete story. There are some games where they're like, oh, if you want the true ending, you got to buy our DLC. That's scummy. But other games, like for example, Spider-Man 1, I'm going to use that as an example, had the City That Never Sleeps DLC. That was extra stuff you didn't have to play because it was all recapped for you in Miles Morales, right? So you didn't have to play that DLC. Okay.
Yeah. So with if this new game plus costs money, I think I would be more in Matthew's camp. We're like, what is this? But it's a free update.
It's free
fine.
update.
That's
yes.
and like a Dragon has the new game plus.
Oh, for, right? Yes, that is what we should be calling out. Is companies trying to do that? Is put new game plus behind paid walls? But Matthew, no, I'm sorry, I completely disagree. The game is feature complete at launch, and them adding stuff later is just patching it in. Like for example, Baldur's Gate 3 complete game when it launched in 1.0. I know it was in early access for a while, but when 1.0 launched in August, right? That's a complete game. Guess what? They're still adding stuff because that's what companies do now. They like to add extra content. That doesn't mean the game wasn't feature complete at launch.
Matthew, you're thinking like me. That's old man logic. Like back in my day, I used to get games and what was in the box was in the box. Now we have to wait for patches.
And back in those days, if the game was broken, it was never fixed.
See, E.T. perfect game, complete game, ship, no issues.
Oh, yeah, it sure did. It only caused the video game crash.
Yeah. So I like Matthew had a question about this too that we'll get into later on. But
we will get into later.
And so like, but I think for the Spider-Man thing, it doesn't bug me because if you're just adding more icing on this cake, fine.
I will say this to give. I get what Matthew's saying.
So do I.
But I will say this: out of all the games, Spider-Man is a bad example of that.
Yeah.
There are some games I look at like, you know what? This wasn't complete. Why don't you give me this game like this? But Spider-Man is not that one.
What's an example of a game that launched complete and is never going to be fixed, and you definitely don't want to play it? Wanted Dead.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It came out in 2022, and boy, am I glad you've never heard of it, because do not go play it. Hi, I rented
Did it leave you wanting?
Did it leave me wanting? Yeah, to put a bullet in my fucking brain.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna web sling again, and I'm looking forward to it. And I hope they got some new cool suits because I do like dressing up my spider dolly.
Yeah, what suits are there?
Okay,
suits?
So I do want to point out a lot of there are new suits added to this. I do want to point out that if there's more than 4, great. But there have been concepts of the 4 suits that are going to be released in. Yikes.
Oh,
Are they bad?
do we have like sexy Spider-Man in his lingerie, or do you have?
No, we have Spider-Man
That's
wearing
not,
an
that's not bad.
Spider-Man wearing an airbag. Like
An
the
airbag?
entire costume is
Airbag.
an airbag. Yeah. It's
Is that a bug, like the brick? Like that sounds like a bug.
No. The spider cube was a funny
Yeah, the
bug. I'm
cube.
not gonna
Yeah.
lie. That thing was funny, and it happened to be like right after they've said they've patched it as well, and it was really funny.
You should.
Happened to Delvin Jr. too. I have a video that he sent me of him being Spider Cube after they said they fixed it.
Okay.
But it is fixed now. Like you generally won't encounter that.
Yeah, of course.
Except for people who deliberately try and break the game. There are still people that do that because they enjoy that. But if you look it up, there are 4 suits out there. One's like neon black and green, and looks like a dirt bike costume. One looks like Spidey's wearing an airbag, and then the other 2 are like design. These are all like I want to say like statue artists who did designs for Spidey. There's probably going to be more than 4 suits because that's what happened with New Game Plus for Spider-Man 1 when they added that.
I will say this. I hope so, because those suits sound trash.
Oh,
You're
hold on.
not telling me here, Haley, on this.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get you an image. We'll move on to the next story, and I'll.
You're making me lean more towards Matthew's side with those suits. Like, oh,
Yeah, right.
Hold on.
like, no, I don't want that.
All right. Well, we'll see. If Haley can get us some pictures, maybe we can all shit talk on it. But
Let's get to the
regardless,
next story. I hate doing that.
yeah.
So, new data suggests, this is basically what it is. PS5 has outsold Xbox Series S and X 2-1. Looks like the Sony PlayStation 5 has sold around double the number of units as the Xbox Series X and S, according to data in a recent Take-Two Interactive earnings report. In one slide, the company shared that 77 million Gen 9 consoles have been sold as of December 31st, 2023. While that figure doesn't give us too much insight on its own, on December 20th, 2023, Sony announced that it sold a little more than 50 million PS5s. Usually, Microsoft keeps its numbers under wraps, but with Take-Two's information in mind, let me finish first, and you can go. That would estimate that Xbox Series X and S sales hit around 27 million units sold.
That's interesting.
Ahead,
Before we move on to that, I sent you an image of the 4 suits.
Oh, these are not promising. So the airbag one is like, it's puffy. I get it.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. That's why I said airbag. You see the motorbike looking one that I was telling you about?
It's in the Discord. I
sent it to Discord because I found it on my phone and not the computer, so I couldn't just put it in like the private chat. And then one of them looks like he's wearing like a Ghost Rider leather jacket thing and a weird looking design. But yeah, these are.
So the puffy one looks like he's from the 70s and he's about to hit Studio 54.
Yes.
He looks like
fuck something in this suit.
Disco Spider. Like, I mean,
yeah.
And then there was this
Spider-Man after like a coke binge in the 70s.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Studio 54. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing none of these suits. These suits are horrible.
Yeah.
And then so the motorcycle one looks like he's going to be shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
And then we have this like weird colorful one, which looks like a somewhat standard Spider-Man design, but it's very colorful with the yellows and the greens.
Looks like
and a purple.
Looks like a Spider-Man. He looks like a Spider-Man shoe.
Okay, hold on.
I was gonna like a shoe. Yeah, absolutely.
He looks like he's wearing the Jamaican flag.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like
I can see that. Yeah, for
it
sure.
looks like the Spider-Man Adidas.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. Yeah. I don't know if I like any of these. These are terrible.
Only if disco music starts playing when I'm web slinging will I enjoy Disco Spider-Man.
Disco Stew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Disco Stew is what I was thinking of. Disco
Yeah.
Stew doesn't even advertise.
these suits don't look promising. So hopefully there's more. But on to the Take-Two earnings report. Repeat that. Sorry.
The whole thing?
No,
Nah,
just
fuck
like
that. I'm not doing that.
no.
Absolutely
Just
not.
repeat what we said before I brought up the suits.
Yeah.
No, it's just
Overall,
Sony's outselling PlayStation 2-1, like
Yeah.
or something like
50
that. Like,
million PS5s, 27 million Xbox Series X and S.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That we kind of knew that. Like Xbox doesn't really give console numbers, but yeah.
Also, I
And
think this.
Switch is eating both of their lunches.
Yeah.
It's not even close, which is like incredibly.
How many? I didn't look that up. How many consoles have Switch sold?
I think it's 129.
Whoa! Holy crap!
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's
That's awesome.
way more than this. Yeah, it's incredible. Switch is doing amazing. People, when these console conversations come out, people forget that Switch is like eating both of these consoles lunch and is doing incredible. Switch is an amazing system. People need to look more into that.
Yeah, no, that's
Matt.
great to hear because I always felt like Nintendo had a special niche in this market, and it's nice that they're like continually able to innovate from console to console and provide hit after hit, with the exception of a few, like the Wii U didn't take off as much.
Oh, don't talk about the Wii U. That's
Yeah,
Donnie's soft spot.
But
he will,
it's
he will rejoin this show to defend the Wii U's honor.
all right. Like I'm not trying to throw hate.
You
on the Wii.
motherfuckers, we're not talking about the Wii U.
I just heard that wasn't as popular as the Wii or the Switch. So fine. But yeah, it's amazing out there, and I think this kind of news really shows why Microsoft would be interested in spreading their wings to other consoles.
Yep.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
So that was
27
the main reason
million.
for me wanting to bring this up on the pod. Was the sales figures. It's just like this kind
No,
of
you grabbed good stories. Like don't be afraid. Like you.
No,
you
I'm not
grabbed
afraid.
good stuff.
No. But I'm saying like I do have reasoning behind what I'm doing, and because it ties into the greater conversation of the week or the month or even the first quarter of the year, which is this Microsoft rumor mill.
Be very afraid, Snerts.
People do not understand the greatness of Snerts. Thank you, Donnie. This is the kind of respect I've been looking for in my life.
No. He's talking about the Wii U. He's talking
we
about
know.
the Wii U, Snerts. He doesn't talk about you.
No. It says greatness Snerts. Am I not reading? It says greatness Snerts. Greatness me Snerts. Yeah. No. I'm great.
He's talking about the greatness of the Wii
He's
U.
gonna rejoin.
Yeah. So no, thank you for the confidence and everything like that. Like I'm not afraid. I just like to explain.
Matthew, you've done it now. You've done it now.
Snerts versus the Wii U.
Oh, bring it on. I'll train too. I'll be like Rocky. I'll do like 4 push-ups a day.
Boy.
Drink some eggs.
Rocky get way more than
Ew.
4 person.
Don't drink eggs, please. Oh, I've never understood that.
That's what you do to get stronger. Every movie where people get stronger, they have to drink raw eggs for some reason.
I don't understand. Like
The Lord and Savior with you.
It's like how Goku eats sensu beans.
Okay, yeah, but
eggs.
see the thing with eggs is you get the same amount of protein whether they're cooked or raw. So why raw?
Because
it shows you're a man.
Haley. Yes.
I don't know. It's
And
fucking
plus,
stupid.
you gotta do everything raw. You gotta go in raw.
Yeah. I mean, even that dad was a psycho too. Never ending story.
Hey, maybe we don't need to do that.
Oh, did I just hear Delvin say always going raw? Never going raw?
Yep, you sure did.
Every once in a while I need to shut up
Gotta
because
go
Delvin
raw.
throws out these zingers that I completely miss.
Yeah. I am like the Simpsons.
There you go.
I'm way past my prime.
Oh, some of the episodes have been okay.
I've never.
It's hard.
watched
It's hard for me to
it
argue
all
that
the
too
way
because
through.
like I generally love The Simpsons and I do think that there have been some good episodes like in the last like 5 seasons, but like I'm not gonna like die on that hill because the golden era of season 3 through 8 or 9 is just that's the mountaintop.
When did The Simpsons even start again?
They just set in December of
Before you were born.
1989 with the Christmas special where they got Santa's Little Helper.
Okay, so this show started 6 years before I was born.
And then if you want to go even further back, there's the 87 Tracy Ullman shorts.
Which I was alive to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
And I used to watch.
Yeah.
That's my first experience of The Simpsons. Tracy
I love
Ullman.
it too because my parents are like, "Don't watch The Simpsons; they're bad." And then Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy came out, and they're like, "Go ahead and watch The Simpsons. Don't watch Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and
Fun
Butthead."
fact: when weed became legal,
Yeah,
here in Ontario, within 24 hours, there was someone on a street corner in like Burlington, recording themselves walking around the street with their bong, and they pulled their shirt up like Beavis and Butthead, and were like, "Take me to your bung hole."
oh my god,
in,
People are wild, man.
in the middle of the street. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I love it.
yeah.
All right. Let's get to our main topic for the show. We had a state of play.
We did.
Yes, we
A
did.
whole bunch of stuff was unveiled. I'll just go through them. We had Dave the Diver, Death Stranding 2, Dragon's Dogma 2, Foam Stars, Helldivers 2, which is out now, Judas, Legendary Tales, Metro Awakening, Rise of Ronin, which people have seen, Silent Hill: The Short Message, Silent Hill 2, Sonic X Shadow Generations. This is what my son's excited for. Stellar Blade, of course, Until Dawn PS5, and V Rising. So if there any of those games, either of you want to talk about?
I'm definitely excited for Dragon's Dogma 2. Very excited for that. I loved the first one. This one looks even bigger. Gonna be climbing all over stuff in Dragon's Dogma 2. Because that's what you do. I also love the director was like, yeah, fast travels for people who make boring game worlds. I'm not sure I agree with that one, but
That's cap. That's big time cap.
yeah. You can still fast travel in Dragon's Dogma. Like don't let that dissuade you if you're at all interested. It's just a different system. You need like crystals to do it. Kind of like you know how Horizon sells you backpacks that you need to use to fast travel?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Kind of like, yeah, but you can at least buy like a bunch of them and then just like do them. So you place little crystals over the map and you can fast travel to those. You can't just fast travel wherever you want. It's an interesting little system they've got there. I'm very excited to replay Until Dawn when that comes back out.
I am too. I love Until Dawn.
Yeah, V Rising looks cool.
Yeah,
Does
V
look
Rising
cool, looks
piqued
fun.
my interest. It got some Diablo 4 vibes going, just probably because of the way the camera and the action looks.
We should go ahead.
I have one. I played a little bit of Silent Hill: The Short Message.
Oh, what'd you think?
Okay. Save that. We have a question.
About
Oh,
the short
okay.
message.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
I'll
from Matt.
answer that.
It's from Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah.
My son's super excited for Sonic X Shadow Generations because that's the remake.
I know
of
because
Sonic
you sent me a
Generations.
message about it.
Yeah, actually, I like the Dreamcast vibe that I was getting from that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was.
Let's talk about foam stars and how they apparently secrete foam from their bodies.
No, let's not talk about that.
Whoa.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. How
Nope.
many
Nope.
drugs before?
Who let someone sit down and write that?
Yeah, I also there was this kind of a chat on Discord too with like Helldivers and Foam Stars coming out so close to each other. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I do buy the argument that one eclipses the other, and it's not Foam Stars.
Nope, it is not.
So I and it's what, free? Like, right? Like we don't even.
So it's free with PS Plus right now,
Okay.
and then after it leaves PS Plus, it's going to be $30.
Look,
Eh,
you can pay me to play that game, and I'm not playing that shit. I'm cool. No,
Look,
I'm
if
Not
somebody
even
came to
if
me
they
and it's like,
offered
we
you
need
$1 million.
I was going
Well,
to say,
it's
if some
$1 million,
charity comes up to me and says, we will give $100,000 to like some cancer research or whatever, but you have to play Foam Stars for 2 hours. And I was like, all right, I'll man up and, I'll help them kids or whatever. But I have no desire to play this at all.
I claimed it. I have no desire to play it. And then I saw that screenshot with like, I felt like a freak when I found out I secrete foam from my skin. And I'm like, what are we fucking doing? that is the screenshot I posted in Discord.
That's a word. That's a word. My God.
Yeah,
Is it like, do you have to
I'm
use
cool.
the motion of the
Yep.
PlayStation controller too and do a back and forth, up and down motion?
I really hope not.
All the doing the spray paint, mission in Spider-Man 2.
Or in Infamous. Infamous does that really well as well.
Oh, does it well?
Absolutely
Okay.
not. Well, Death Stranding 2 looks awesome.
I have
I
no idea
guess.
what the fuck was happening for the entirety of that trailer. Why the fuck is there
every
like?
Kojima game.
I mean, it
Yeah.
is, but why the fuck is there a goddamn puppet that looks like Alan Wake mixed with Willem Dafoe? Why is what? Oh God, why is there a fucking like pair of hands that light a cigarette? Why is Norman Reedus silver for like 30 seconds? Why is George Miller there?
Because it's Kojima. Kojima just gonna do Kojima shit.
I'm very happy for people who
I'm here
enjoy
for
this
it.
series. It looks fascinating, but I have no interest in playing the game. And when I found out that the original one was just like you're a courier, basically, I don't know. Like the idea of me falling down a mountainside and having to pick things up. I mean, that could be me on a Sunday at a hilly park. Like I don't want that experience. But I have to say the sheer spectacle and weirdness of it all is intriguing.
I will say this. As the person who played the first Death Stranding game, I hope this game feels more like the second half of that game than the first half of that game.
Okay.
Because the first half of that game, when you're delivering packages and stuff like that, and you're building this world, is a fucking slog. It's a slow pace. But once you get to the part where you're fighting mud monsters and doing all this kind of crazy fun stuff, it's great. It's great. So I'm excited for it. I think it looks cool. I think it's going to be a fun experience. Kojima's going to do Kojima things to make these games that nobody understands what's going on. But we pretend we do because we like Kojima. Norman Reedus is good in it. So hey, I'm excited for it.
Nice. I am excited about
30-hour trek of delivering packages across terrain that you have to build again for some reason, despite the fact that the entire chiral network is back online.
Yeah. All right. What about Judas? Y'all what y'all think?
I am excited about Judas.
Besides the Jericho song.
Yeah. I don't know. Donnie was mentioning like, it's not really BioShock, even though the opening of the trailer says from the people who brought you BioShock.
Yeah,
and it does look like BioShock in space to me, and I'm all for it. I'm a big fan of that kind of weird dystopian sci-fi shit. And if I can get a game where I can run and gun and shoot powers from my hands at the same time, sign me up.
I will say this. Not to cut Hayley off. I'll say this. In all the games that we've gotten over the years, the people say, "Oh, this looks like BioShock. This is like BioShock. Could be BioShock." This is the only one that really looks like it could be BioShock.
Okay.
Yeah. So Atomic Heart got close, but then kind of fucked around and ruined it with the goddamn horny ass vending machine.
Yeah. Who doesn't want a fucking vending machine?
Who doesn't want a vending? Who doesn't want a vending machine that every time you interact with it, and you have to interact with it a lot, tells you to squirt your polymer into me?
That legit made me stop playing the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I'm not playing this around people. this is
like,
look, this is a bit much. Like, I'm trying to play the game and enjoy the game. You have this vending machine just yelling sexual innuendos around. Like,
literally, In the first 30 minutes, you interact with this vending machine once, and after meeting you for one time, the vending machine is horny for you for the rest of the game.
And
Okay.
you have to interact with the game. You have to interact with this machine often.
Yes.
You know, High on Life was trying to be edgy with its humor, but like it didn't have fucking vending machines. So
Here's my favorite
that's
part
so
too.
weird.
That's not even the weirdest part about Atomic Heart. Is the horny vending machine is like low on the list of things that are fucking weird about that game.
Okay.
Up there that should be way higher than the horny ass vending machine is how dumb your fucking character is. This man literally will walk into a situation and be like, "Man, this seems fucked up," and then he goes, "What the fuck is happening?" And then he goes, "Why do I fucking care?" I'm like, "Bro, you just witnessed this fucking like machine roll in, tear two people in half, and cut through the floor, and you're like, meh, why do I care?" Bro, you're gonna die.
Well, maybe he's high.
really high. Really high.
high.
Yeah.
He's
'Cause,
he's like that's you remember those old stereotypical like protagonists in video games? They're like, "Oh, I'm gruff man, and I give no fucks whatsoever."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like that, but balled up to 10, and then take his intelligence and put it at 1.
So he's Duke
Okay.
Nukem.
Yeah, I was thinking Duke
He's
Nukem,
worse
the
than
Doom guy.
Duke Nukem.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also was I have to say, minus the jiggly physics, the boobs, button, blades trailer. I mean, I'm sorry, Stellar Blade trailer looked
Uh-huh.
fun.
I
minus?
still
That is a plus. So how dare you?
No, I said that on purpose because I was hoping to spur some conversation, and
Yeah.
you know, I for one welcome my jiggle physics and everything.
And
But,
unlike Dev, who's capping and saying that he didn't notice any of this shit,
Big time.
well, I
Big
noticed.
time, Captain.
that's
Yeah.
fucking cap.
Yeah.
The
Everyone
trailer lingers on her ass for
All the
like
time.
45 seconds.
It's very like
Yeah.
Bayonetta I even remember being horny for the first Ninja Gaiden game on Xbox. Like there's a scene where like the main female protagonist in her like basically bustier gets spit out and it's all slimy and everything, and her cleavage is there, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like horny Snerts likes this.
Gotta tell you, if there's any game that should have foam haptics, it's still a Blade.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about excreting foam? Stellar Blade.
Foam haptics.
Hey, so Kyle Pug is gonna clip like 90% of this fucking show.
But no, seriously, even sexiness aside, like I'm a fan of Bayonetta, and I got some real Bayonetta vibes from it. It's set in this like weird future dystopian shit. Like, yeah, that's my wheelhouse. Let's do it.
Yeah, Bayonetta's great.
Yeah.
This is PlayStation's version of Bayonetta. That's gonna be pretty fun.
Yeah, game looks interesting. I'm gonna wait for reviews on it, not because I'm not excited for it, but yeah, we'll see. I do want to point out: did either of you know that Dontnod's game comes out this week?
No.
Talking about Banishers.
Yeah, comes out on fucking like
Yeah, I knew
Tuesday.
that. Yeah, I've been waiting for that game for a while. It looks good. It looks really good. I'm excited for it. I might have it pre-ordered already.
Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. Is that what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Huh.
All right. Is there any other games on this list you guys want to talk to, or we're going to get the questions?
I mean, it's interesting that Dave the Diver's finally coming to PS5.
And doesn't it have? This is the one that has Godzilla DLC, right?
Yes, it has the Godzilla DLC.
I have to
and
say that did intrigue me when I saw the Godzilla. I was like, I don't care about this diver, but
Oh no! I promise you, like if you play Dave the Diver, that game will intrigue you. That game is nothing like what it seems.
I've heard it's really different, and not in a bad way.
Okay.
No, yeah, not to call it. It's not an indie game. Like it should not have been classed as an indie game because again, it's funded by Nexon.
Next song.
And then the other thing that I have to say is the rise of Ronin. I have to say, it took a little bit of the wind out of my sails. I wasn't really impressed with that trailer, and it just seems like another version of Ghost of Tsushima. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get more excited as it comes out.
I have not been interested in that game at all. Hope it's good though.
Yeah, I mean, I like Team Ninja, and I thought like they were gonna be coming up with something in that guy, or, like the Neo or the Ninja Gaiden stuff. But like, I have to say, I was like, because I picked that as I forget which one. It was either my marry or fuck for a previous episode, and I have to say, like, now I'm kind of like, I don't know. But that's it for me. That was like the last thing I wanted to say about this showcase. It's just, I thought Ronan was a little disappointed.
Yeah,
I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to say before we get to these questions, Haley?
No, I'm just it looks good. So.
All right, let's get to these questions. We have quite a few. All right, our first question from that retro code, and this was a good one. He asked, "Which state of play was your favorite? Do you or would you revisit some past showcases, listen to your reaction, and talk about them if your opinion changed once the game released or played them?" Now, let's answer the second question first. So, do either of you ever revisit or look back at past state of plays?
I do look back at past state of plays or even showcases. Hell, even Xbox stuff I'll go back and watch. I've never gone back and watched my own reactions.
As someone who's new to the podcasting world, I do not have like reactions on record, so to speak. So we'll see, like if later on down the line of playing Judas, Ronan, or Stellar Blade, and we'll see if my opinion changes of it afterwards.
To give an example, one I consistently go back to, I may not watch the whole showcase, but I consistently go back to like the reveal of Keanu in Cyberpunk.
Oh, sure. That was fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one I really like the way that Kind of Funny reacts to that, and then he comes out on stage and they get even more riled up. So,
yeah, nice. One of my favorites was from September 2021, just because of the games involved. It was God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, and Knights of the Old Republic. Now, Knights of the Old Republic has hit the old dusty trail, but man, what a lineup. I mean, Delvin, I'm sure you were excited when we saw our boy Kratos up there doing his thing.
That was my favorite one, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good taste. Good taste.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think that's mine as well. But I mean, let's be real. Sony's never really had the best state of plays. It's always their showcases you want to be excited for.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really excellent one. Wolverine was a big surprise. I don't think a lot of people knew about. I think it might have been rumored at the time.
It had been rumored, and I think it leaked like 4 hours before the showcase.
Of course it did.
And then, God of War is always amazing. I loved the first God of War, so getting another one of that was cool. And, then I love Knights of the Old Republic, so they were like, "Oh, we're remaking this." Like, "Oh, hell yeah!" And womp, womp, womp,
yeah. I would. It's gonna happen one day. We might be old. We might be doing this from the retirement home, but we're gonna be like, it only took 50 years, but we finally got Knights of the Old Republic again.
Will any of us be able to afford a retirement home? Zing!
I'm trying to save up so I can get the one with the arcade in it.
Hey, there you go.
Well, I already have that. So.
So I'm going to be moving in with Delvin in his many, many mansions.
Yeah.
Just bring the Sonos bar. We're good.
Yeah.
As long as it's not in Florida, count me in. Delvin knows what I mean when as long as it's not Florida. And it has nothing to do with the weather or the location.
Yes. It has to do with the racist white people.
Sure. Yes. Definitely the racism. And more the fact that, like, I would not be able to get my medication in Florida. Like,
yes.
Oh, well, yeah.
Homophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's also rapping in Florida.
It came out this week. They're literally denying people who like need it to live. They're denying them like their medication. It has nothing to do with like being trans at all. It's literally just like, hey, yeah, we're not giving you this medication because of this new law. And it's like, I will die. They're like, yeah, don't care. So
yeah, moving on before I get depressed and get mad. Next
Yep.
question from Joseph, because I don't call him Smoking Joe no more. He's lost that with me.
Uh huh.
Oh, what happened?
If
He knows what he
he
did.
knows what happened,
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
okay.
So
Moving on.
Joseph asked, if Xbox put exclusives on PlayStation, do you think Sony would ever consider allowing Game Pass on PlayStation for Super Earth? All right.
Do I
Y'all
think
think-
PlayStation will ever allow Game Pass? Yes. Yes.
Yes, I do. I think it's possible, and I think it'll be the way Donnie said it. Like, hey, Xbox exclusive games only, not stuff that you find on PlayStation Plus, stuff like that. But yeah, for Xbox exclusive games, yes, you can get Game Pass on there.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah, I was under the same opinion as long as it's not competing with the already available streaming services on the Sony platform. Also, if premium and all this other tier stuff like is lackluster in performance, I could see them kind of mixing it up. But I do agree, Game Pass would come to PlayStation, but it wouldn't be the same Game Pass that we get on Xbox.
no, it would
or
just
PC.
it'll probably just be
Yeah.
like Xbox like games themselves.
Yeah. So that also makes me wonder for pricing structures and stuff like that too. Like, would they charge the same amount, for the Game Pass if it doesn't have as robust as a library? But those are all things that we get to think about. Like,
I'm sure those
they
are
want the money. They
figure
want the. But and how it's for gamers like me. Like, I'm more intrigued about getting a Game Pass from Microsoft than I am for signing up for premium.
That makes sense.
I have premium and I barely use it.
Yeah, I did a free trial or whatever, a 1 month trial, and it was just kind of mediocre, mid, as they say these days.
There you go. All right. Our next question from Pastor Lucas Ham Switcher. He asked, you are being forced to chaperone a month-long middle school camp. Nope, not doing that. It could take 3 things to survive. What do you take and how long do you last before you or they meet their maker? Okay.
I love this question, by the way.
Month-long middle school camp, and you can take 3 things to survive. You have to chaperone it. How
Okay,
long
so
do you
middle
last?
school is like grade 5, 6, and 7, right?
Yeah, that's close enough. 6, 7, 8 for me out here in California, but
Yes.
Okay.
12 to 14-year-olds in general.
Yeah.
This sounds awful.
I got an answer ready to go if y'all
Go.
need some time to mull it
Go
over.
for it. Go for
All right.
it.
So first off, I love this question because I think it's just kind of creative and is not relevant to anything we've been talking about, but I love the mental activity. So I'm going to bring an ounce of weed or enough edibles to last a month. That's 100% needs to happen. Otherwise, these kids are going to get smacked because I'm going to lose my tolerance. I'm going to bring an iPad loaded with comic books. And then finally, I'm going to bring a board game like Dead of Winter or Seven Wonders to play with people, like during the downtime when we're done with the camp activities for the day. Okay. I will last 2 weeks because one of those little fuckers are going to find my stash and I'm going to get kicked out. Luckily for me, though, that's just before Jason arrives to kill everybody.
Good point. That's good. Very good. Good job, Snerts.
Snerts did come prepared.
I did. Yeah.
I'm bringing dry ice and water.
Okay. What's the dry ice for?
Magic.
Oh, cool.
Johnson?
No, yeah, let's go with Magic Johnson and not the actual, science experiments that you can do with dry ice, which teenagers fucking love.
Yeah, it's like physics stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah. The comic book iPad thing is a good idea. I don't have an iPad though.
Well, in this scenario, you can have whatever you need or want.
That's
like, there's
correct.
not like just
sure.
Yes, it's fiction.
A bunch of firecrackers, so these idiots can blow themselves up.
I am going to bring a bat. I'm also going to bring, let me finish. I'm going to bring a chair. And I'm going to bring a DVD of the movie Lean On Me. Because I'm going to be Morgan Freeman in that movie, and I'm going to say the line, "You used to call me Crazy Joe, now you can call me Batman." And I'm going to be smacking kids around. You're doing dope.
Delvin is going to be murdering children with a baseball bat.
I'm gonna be Morgan Freeman and lean on me. That's what I'm gonna do. Just live out my dreams. I'm gonna sit in the chair, turn the chair backwards, and talk to these kids. Turn my hat backwards. You gotta stop these streets, kids. Put the dope down. I'm just gonna be that cool principal from Lean on Me. It's just kind of like I forgot. I think his name was Joe Brown. Principal Brown. They're fighting in the streets.
You mean it's not the movie Meet Joe Black, which is about a guy who's been dead the entire time?
Wow, that's racist. Why you want me to be Joe Black?
That is not what.
Because that's Dev.
That's definitely Dev.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I saw an over there. I wasn't hurt.
As a reminder, at the start of this podcast, you said you weren't touching that with a 10-foot pole, and then you walked right into it.
Yeah, I forgot about the pole. We're gonna
change Dev's Discord name to Joe White.
He won't care as long as the 49ers win today. He'll be fine.
They're not gonna win. I have bad news for you. I have bad news for Dev. They're not winning.
One team has Taylor Swift. The
other
team
Red.
is the 49ers.
Go Team Red. All right. Anyway, that's pretty cool.
Go Team Red. That. Yeah. Which one?
That's the joke.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm gonna do my Wolfbane. That is the joke. You know. All right.
All right. Our next question. Hollywood Bones asks, there is a rumor that Xbox may have a portable device in the pipeline. What do you think the name should be?
Microbox.
I like it. What's your name for a portable Xbox?
It's not really a box if it's portable, though.
You can move a box. It could be a
Boxes
small
come in all
box.
sizes, Haley.
That's why it's called micro. Micro meaning small, box meaning box.
Yeah, I got it.
There are multiple size boxes. Boxes just don't come in large. I know Xbox has us food with that giant ass box they call a system, but you
in Canada, boxes only come in one size, massive.
To quote one Archer Sterling.
Oh yeah.
Hey, phrasing.
There you go. Yeah.
Delvin knows what he did. Delvin knows what he did.
Oh, did I miss another?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Damn it. I'll catch it on the re-listen. Like I did the last episode. I was like, damn, Delvin throws these low-key zingers, and I don't pick them up. And I'm just like, gotta pay more close attention.
I genuinely don't know. I also don't think that rumor makes any sense at all when Xbox has been. Hey, Matthew!
There you go, Matthew. He's back.
Extra small box. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I like it. That is extra small box.
Okay, sure. Let's just go with that. In the box? Move on. Yeah.
What was didn't Xbox have? Wasn't one of the code names for Xbox Trojan?
Trojan Man.
I think so.
We're just spiraling down the drain.
I don't think we had to spiral very far. We were here from the start.
Yeah, that was a 3-foot pole.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we should call the new Xbox, the portable one, Xbox Magnum. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put in a small black box.
Well, no, the Magnum is the bigger screen version, right?
Yeah.
It comes with the little bit bigger of a surface area to deal with, and then you have the extra small box.
Yeah, Trojan. And then you have a smaller one. You call it
Lifestyles. Lifestyles is the third-party ripoff and it's not even really Microsoft. It's some other company that just came out and stole the technology.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's amazing. All right, is this our last question? I think it is. Thank God we've gotten to the end.
Good thing you came back, Matthew, because we saved yours for last, buddy.
Damn it, Matthew. You have all this 12-part question you've asked. He says, Matthew Dawson asks, let's get the first one. How Sonic fans stay winning? Sonic 3 logo, Knuckles series, Sonic X Shadow Generation, all revealed in a week. Well, that's kind of impressive.
Hey,
That is kind of impressive.
You missed one thing that should have been in here.
What was it?
Does anybody know what I'm going to bring up?
No.
I'm not a Sonic
Oh.
fan. I don't know.
It's not really a Sonic thing. It's the fucking Paramount Plus Super Bowl ad. Has anybody seen that?
Oh, it has Knuckles in it, doesn't it?
It does have Knuckles in it.
Yeah.
And he shouts the
there you go.
line. He literally shouts the line, "Throw the child," like multiple times in that ad.
I like
Okay,
I like
so I see I have to give background notice. So this
'cause I'm
ad
lost.
has this ad has Master Chief, Knuckles, Sir Patrick Stewart as
Guard.
Drew Barrymore,
Mhm.
Arnold
Does
from Hey
Does
Arnold.
Beavis and Butthead come back?
No,
Okay.
the guy who runs Survivor, I don't know what his name is,
Sure.
and
white guy who
Delvin-
was Survivor.
And Delvin, you might know this guy. He's in like Reno 911 or something like that.
Absolutely not.
I'll send you a photo later. Anyways, he's not really important except for the fact that like halfway through this ad, he turns around and has a fucking tramp stamp of the word Creed.
Yeah, no, isn't that the guy the guy who wears the short shorts and has the mustache, right?
Might be, yes.
Yeah.
I've never
He's in that. Anyways, this ad is about them standing on Paramount Mountain and how they're
Correct.
going to freeze. And one of these football players is like, if I had something football shaped, I could throw it up there.
Well, I have seen that.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets to the point where it's like, what about a football shaped head? And he's like, throw the child. What we throw the child.
Yeah.
And Drew Barrymore goes, no, you can't throw the child. And Patrick Stewart turns around and goes, Barrymore, shut your face. And the football player is like, I'm not throwing a child. Stewart's like, not built for the moment, I see. I'll do it then. And he's got like his wrist communicator on and he opens it and it says throw the child in it. And he gears up and says like this weird line about how it's the 7th inning stretch and we need a hole in one or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and he goes to throw Arnold and then Creed starts playing. And he starts singing it. Anyways, the commercial ends with Arnold slamming into a wall and falling down. And they're like, damn, so close. And the Reno guy is like, points to, like, literally, someone is like, hey, if only we had something shaped like a foot, like made out of pigskin. And then the commercial and the Reno guy points over there and goes, bingo. And it cuts to Peppa Pig going, oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, now that
anyways,
you said it again, I do recall seeing that, and that was a very great recap too, because I do remember them showing
That
Hey
was.
Arnold flying through the air and
Yeah.
me laughing because I love that kind of dumb physical humor.
By the way, you see Arnold flying through Master Chief's helmet. Like, he literally goes across the visor as
Yeah.
he's...
No, the little details are good.
This sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Delvin, I will send you this trailer later. It's very funny to watch. But yeah, I guess you're
Okay.
winning. But again, your question of how, this is the same company that said they want Sonic to be more noted, like renowned than Mario, which good luck.
Well, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean,
Good on them.
good for the fans. You know, I personally, the only thing that really interests me was Generations, but that said, I will get around to seeing, you know, the Knuckles series and probably the third movie. I'm just not like there day one in my Sonic cosplay like our friend Matthew will be.
John 32, Hayley has like hit another Super Saiyan level. She's like spoiling commercials now.
Yeah. Yeah, spoiling commercials
Also-
that have been out forever. And
Yeah, I also want to point out, like, this commercial came out on the 7th of February, which is like, why are we releasing
I have
Super
never
Bowl
seen
commercials before the Super Bowl?
because it's a whole
I've never
thing.
seen
Like
one.
you got to get the ads out there early, and then you have to have like USA Today talk about the ad as well. It's a whole.
Correct.
Trust me, it's part of the
It's
day job
marketing,
for
man.
me.
Yeah.
And they're not paying me to advertise for them, so like I don't want to go further into that. But there is a whole like repetitious marketing cycle that lasts for weeks, and Super Bowl Sunday is just like the what do you call it?
Culmination.
The culmination. Thank you.
The touchdown.
I was gonna say touchdown. Yeah. But yeah,
figured it was.
good for the Sonic fans.
All right. Let's get to his second question. He asked, have y'all played the free Silent Hill game that released? Do you like the franchise? I love Silent Hill, by the way. I know Hayley doesn't like it.
I do not.
I've never played it.
Snerts, you like Silent Hill?
Never played it.
I'm gonna be real. I'm not really a fan of things that deal with unreality.
Except for
That's
superheroes.
all the video games.
No. Unreality is I can't tell if what I'm seeing is actually there or not.
Oh,
Okay.
you talk about more of like supernatural type stuff.
Yes and no, because I guess we're making a CW reference, but like stuff like Supernatural, yes, I enjoyed that.
I actually wasn't for what I was.
No,
actually
you
wasn't
meant
for
more
once.
like
I was
ghosts
talking
and
like
hallucinations.
ghosts and like actual. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but Supernatural deals with ghosts, which is why I brought it up. Like there are ghosts,
Yeah.
but it's clear that they're ghosts. You're not wondering what's going on. Whereas Silent Hill very much wants you to be like, is that real? Is it not? I do not like dealing with that in interactive media.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. I love the Silent Hill games. I've been watching that terrible Silent Hill TV show they have on PlayStation View. That shit's garbage. That is awful. But I played 10 minutes of this game. It's very interesting. It's first person. Kind of gives me a PT vibe a little bit. I'm still early in the game, but it looks beautiful. For a free game, it looks beautiful. I'm curious if this is going to be what they plan on doing with Silent Hill. And if it is, I'm quite interested in it so far. It looks beautiful. It plays beautiful. I kind of think that is very fascinating. When I have time, probably during the Super Bowl, I'll probably play a little bit more of it.
And it feels like a good successor to the original games that came out.
Yeah, it feels like it. Like I said, it feels a lot like PT.
Okay.
Doesn't look like PT. It's not the same story as PT.
I'm not following. What is
feels...
PT though?
You don't know what PT is?
Oh, you don't know what PT is? It's it was a demo from Kojima, and at the end when you beat the demo, it was revealed to be a Silent Hill game made by Konami.
Yes.
But then it got canceled.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, and the thing about PT is the demo was so amazing that like people kept it on their PS. That was PS3, right, Haley?
It was PS4.
PS4? Okay.
Yeah.
The demo was so like beloved by people because it was scary and stuff like that. Konami, after they broke up their relationship with Kojima, they literally like erased the game. So you can't download the game anymore. You can't play it anymore unless you kept the PS4.
So for reference, also to note, this is where Kojima's relationship with Norman Reedus started because he was going to be in the Silent Hill game. And then, Konami and Kojima's relationship took a turn. It got bad. They delisted the game. Now, you could originally delete it and re-download the game, but it got to a point where they actually revoked the license entirely. You could not re-download it.
Yes.
As far as I know. And then they even took it a step further where for those who had a PS4 and transferred the contents of it to their PS5, PT would not transfer. Even if it was Yeah.
Damn.
And it
even more further, when this happened, people were selling their PS4 with PT on it for
$3,500 was the highest I saw for one of those.
They were going for crazy
Jesus.
prices just to play.
Yeah,
it was a big thing. It was a big deal when this happened.
Okay. Yep. Wow. I had no idea this whole thing existed. I'm not much of a horror genre fan, so I dip out of here and there for a couple games. But I know Silent Hill has a legacy, and I'm glad someone a fan like you, Delvin, is enjoying it, which gives it, that's what you want to hear. The people who like the franchise enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm still early there, but so far I like it. It had a lot of the eeriness I like from Silent Hill games, so I'm really interested in it. I'm going to see where it goes. So I'm going to
Do you play
play that more, probably finish it up.
do you play horror games with headphones
I
on
love
to
horror
get that full immersion, or do you just use your speakers or whatever you got set up for your?
I've tried playing with speakers on, with headphones on, but because I have kids and the kids like to talk to me a lot,
Oh,
it
sure.
just bothered me the whole time. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I just say no. I'll just play without the headphones.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I know some people with horror games. I have like a couple friends who insist on playing horror games with their headphones on just because it's like that much more immersive and scary.
Yeah, it's dope though. All right,
Cool.
let's get to the last part of his question. Lastly, I tweeted this a couple of days ago. A lot of people seem to agree. Tweet of Matthew's own tweet. He said, I got Mortal Kombat 1 for my birthday, and I noticed how scammy the games feel with its microtransactions. Do y'all think games should just stick to one lane or another? Matthew tweeted. I feel like if a game costs $70 up front, they should waive the right to have in-game currency or microtransactions.
I disagree.
But that's just me. You know what? It depends on what he means by that. I don't have a problem with the game. Let me get my point first before you go, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with the game being like the base game $70, and you have a season pass for like $40, $30. I'm fine with that type of stuff. What annoys me with games like this is a game costing $70, and then every 5 minutes, every time you turn on the game, they ask you for more money. That feels kind of scammy. Like, oh, you need to buy this? Want to buy this costume? Want to buy this? Want to buy that? Like, come on, man. I just gave you $70. Leave me alone. Let me enjoy the play the game. Now, I don't mind you putting a little store there. Like, hey, you want to buy outfits and stuff like that? You can go buy them at this store. But if you keep, I think Mortal Kombat is one of the games that does.
Mortal Kombat definitely does push the notifications for that, but they're the only game I've seen push the notifications for their own store.
Own it. There's more. NBA 2K does that a lot, too. It's bad at NBA 2K. It's really bad. It is annoying.
Okay.
I have the season pass for NBA 2K, and it still pushes me to buy more shit.
Okay, so here's why I disagree. Like, for one, a season pass is not a microtransaction. That is a macro transaction because it's usually $40 or $50, and you're pre-purchasing DLC. That is different than what I would consider a microtransaction, which I'm going to use Odyssey, for example. I bought 90% of what was in the store for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So, like, I bought the game, and I got the season pass for the DLC, and then I bought the additional costumes and weapons and stuff that came with that because I enjoyed the game so much, and I had the disposable income to do that, and I got a lot of enjoyment out of it. I don't have a problem with that. With those kind of transactions being in a game, because this is mentioned earlier by John, but capitalism is a thing, and unfortunately, growth cannot be sustained. It has to always increase, or shit like that happens, right? Now, you could argue that if you're gonna have microtransactions, your game doesn't need to be $70. That's a totally fair conversation, but saying that if the game is $70, they can't ever have microtransactions, I don't know that I agree with that. And usually, because you know me, I don't really play sports games, right? Like, I'll occasionally check out an NHL game or whatnot if it's on EA Play, or maybe I'll play a round of FIFA here or there. But I'm not like a sports type gamer, right? The last sports game I really played was Skate 3 through backwards compatibility on the Xbox, right? Like, it's more a matter of, like, these types of transactions allow development time to continue because development is expensive, and at a certain point, companies don't want to fund it anymore. This allows that to happen. Do I wish devs themselves would recoup some of these costs themselves? Sure, but that's a totally separate conversation to be had. I think they're okay, as long as they're not doing what you said, Delvin, like NBA 2K, or in this case, Mortal Kombat 1. I've seen that shit. That's gross. But I'm okay with those options existing. I do want to point out one that's a little more scummy. that I noticed. Diablo 4. I happened to scroll across the tile where it's installed on my PlayStation yesterday. They have a $40 pack you can buy. This is on the PlayStation Store itself. You don't have to go into the game to do this. Like, this pops up in the background. You've played Diablo, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I played 4.
No, but you're at least familiar with the way you travel between towns, right? The little portals.
Yes, I played 3.
Okay, so they're offering a $40 DLC pack. All it does is change the color of the travel portals.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going with when you brought it up. I
Horse
was like,
armor.
yeah, horse armor too. There's a lot of cosmetics. So, as someone who has more experience with this, Hayley, when you were buying that for Valhalla, was it cosmetic only, or are there gameplay changes or enhancements to like the weapons? Because my experience has been microtransactions are mostly cosmetic, and I don't really think they add value to my experience of the game.
So the way that Ubisoft does their store purchases for Odyssey and Valhalla and even Origins, but Origins didn't really have that many. It really started with like Odyssey. The weapons you get have effects. Like, for example, in Mirage, which I bounced off of, I still bought a weapon there that did lightning damage, which you couldn't get naturally through the game. You could buy that and it would do lightning damage. But that's a single player game. I'm not playing against other players, so it's not pay to win, right?
No, yeah, and I'm only talking about single players.
No. I understand. I'm just for anyone who's
because like Far Cry 5 and 6, like love those games, but when I go into those stores and like, oh, do you want like the little gun trinket or something like that? I could care less.
Okay, so the trinkets.
But I've also seen stuff for like Dead Island 2 where it seems a little bit more enticing. I haven't taken the plunge, but like it seems like they actually have weapons that will change the gameplay experience.
Dead Island 2 does have good DLC weapons that do that. They also have cosmetic DLC, which is good as well. For Odyssey, because that's the one I have the most hours in for Assassin's Creed, the weapons and armor all have like bonuses to them. They're not just cosmetic. So for example, one of the DLC sets you can get through a microtransaction turns all of your weapons to fire damage. Doesn't matter what they are. Like, they could be a weapon that is meant to do water damage. It does fire based on the armor you're wearing. Now, these games do offer transmogs, so you could still wear that outfit over top of a different outfit if you want a different effect. But like Odyssey and Valhalla, each of the weapons and armor sets have their own effects.
Okay. Yeah, so that seems to me a little less egregious than when it's just cosmetic. And I also agree with the comments that both of you have made as far as like, certain games being a little bit more forceful about it. I thought in Diablo 4 was kind of gross that they have this like special currency or whatever that unlocks more stuff like the horse armor and whatnot. But like they still tease it to you because if you earn X amount of like XP, you get like a free thing. So it's it's like the drug dealer on the corner being like, okay, I'll give you this joint for free, but like, if you want the next 5, you're gonna have to pay for it, type of thing.
Yeah.
I kind of feels weird.
Let's be clear. Like, so when I mentioned what happened when the servers for Suicide Squad went down right after early access started and they gave people like premium currency, let me point out that Ubisoft does this for all of their games. You'll play through the tutorial and be awarded 300 credits for their premium currency store.
Correct.
It's not enough to buy anything. But you get notified that you've been given 300 credits. That's the only time they push the store on you. Besides, like, for example, if you've quit the game and you reload up, like, this is not a push notification. It's just a tab you can see when you load the game up, right? So, like, for example, let's say you were to load up Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now, and you get to the main menu. One of the options listed there is store, but you don't have to click that, right? And when you when you open your menu in the game, one of the options is you press left on the D-pad and it'll give you like the actual like options menu to like save and quit and leave the game. And the other option is the store. If you don't want to see the store, you don't have to hit that button, right?
Sure.
So like it doesn't push that on you the way that Mortal Kombat 1, for example, will literally give you pop-up notifications like new skin released in store.
Yeah,
Like-
the ones that I can remember
Yes.
is like Far Cry again, because Ubisoft, right? And they do
Mhm.
their thing, and you get the free little like a trinket that you can have like on the dashboard of your car, from the car that you summon or something cosmetic like that. But it never felt like it was in my face. It's just kind of something there. I also think Cyberpunk was the same way. A lot of these games now, when you load in, they're like, sign up for our cool network, and you'll get a free item, and again, like that's a way to entice people, and to the larger picture, like, yeah, I mean, things have changed. Back in the day, like when Delvin and I were young and Hayley didn't exist yet, you got a full game in one when you bought it, but times have changed. Now, what I would like to see avoided is when you buy a game for $70 and that just by itself is not a satisfying experience, and you feel like you will only have a satisfying experience if you buy into the microtransactions or even DLC, which are two separate things. So I think a game's reception and score will be hurt if they do not provide a full, complete, satisfying experience with your $70 purchase.
Well said.
Yeah. I haven't encountered any games though, like personally, and I play a lot. It's pretty much all I spend my money on, besides like necessities and bills and stuff like that. Is this, and I haven't encountered a game where I paid full price for it and didn't feel satisfied until I bought DLC. Or microtransactions. I usually buy the microtransactions because I'm having so much fun and want to kick a little extra back or something like that.
Yeah, and I agree. Like I haven't run into that issue as well. But there are other games that are completely different too that are free to play. And if a game is free to play, I was playing Multiverse, Smash Brothers clone, and they were like, buy this, buy that. And I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of annoying, but I didn't pay for it. So that's
I
used
to play Rocket League a lot.
Yeah, Rocket League's another one. Yeah.
I bought a lot of microtransactions in there.
Sure.
I bought like Brian's car from Fast and Furious, Dom's car from Fast and Furious, the Batmobile from Batman v Superman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my buddy got the Ghostbuster vehicle. Like, yeah, 100%. Yeah. There was also another game too. Was Marvel Heroes, which was also free, and it ended up getting closed down.
I am so mad about that one. I was really enjoying that. It's Marvel Heroes Omega.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
And it's one of the only games that Marvel has released that actually allowed you. Well, you weren't technically playing as her, but for example, one of the characters you could play as was Spider-Man. You want to take a guess what one of the microtransactions you could buy for Spider-Man was?
And to get the suit, the Venom suit or whatever. Like,
no, Delvin.
Spider-Gwen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
bingo.
Cool. Yeah.
And it literally, it even changed like the dialogue for the character to be Gwen Stacy.
Oh, perfect.
It wasn't Peter anymore when you did that. And absolutely, I was all over that. And then the game got shut down.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those games where
it was only like $5, but like
but it was one of those games where like I would part with $5-10 if I got a particular Marvel character that I found enticing, that wasn't included with the main package. But the fact that they had main players, so it is a case by case basis, and I do have a little bit of leeway depending on how much a game costs.
Yeah. I mean, I've also spent like Delvin knows that. I think you know this, that I used to play DC Universe Online.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I spent money in that too.
Yeah. So the stupidest thing that got me for microtransactions as being a Simpsons fan is I bought Tapped Out. And
Okay.
I had a couple brewskis in me. I was feeling pretty good. And I was like, told myself never ever spend money on that shit. Nope. I spent $20 for those pink donuts and I got an auto and like something else that was all just fucking bullshit. And I was so disappointed in myself when I woke up the next morning and go like, really? $20? I mean, I know you waste money on all sorts of shit, but like, did you really need to see auto repairing his bus that much? You know, so I definitely have had situations where I regret the microtransaction. And I'm much more heavier like into like DLC content. But that said, you know, Haley, I did like the point like where you like if it actually does change the gameplay and enhances it for it, and it is something you enjoy. I mean, what's a couple bucks here and there so you can be all fire all the time, you know?
I mean, I like for example, I haven't spent the premium currency I've been given for Suicide Squad yet, and I know I'm going to be playing that game for a while, right? Like when they release something cool in the store, I've got currency in there to buy it, right? Like I'll buy that, right? You know, it's I'm for that kind of stuff. Now, the one I will point out one that I do find egregious, and that's the way Bethesda does it.
Oh, educate me on Bethesda's microtransactions.
Okay, so Bethesda's microtransactions are what's called Creation Club.
Okay.
And for example, Fallout 4 is where it started, and then it went backwards to go into Skyrim. Now, most Creation Club stuff does not disable trophies or achievements. And this is why I find it egregious. They recently updated the system so that some of this stuff is like a deeper kind of mod and it will disable achievements. The game doesn't tell you until you purchased it and activated it and then screwed yourself out of achievements. That is scummy.
Because I remember modding Fallout 4, but I don't remember having to pay money for any of it. But I guess that was just a community page, I guess.
There are still community mods you can get on PC and on the Xbox version of Fallout 4. You can
actually get them on PlayStation as well.
Yeah, just not as many because the Xbox, because of the way they do it. But you can do that stuff. And when you download mods, the game does tell you, hey, we're going to disable achievements. The new paid Creation Club content, which as far as I know is only in Skyrim right now. They haven't done this for Fallout 4 yet.
Okay.
The game doesn't tell you it's disabling achievements.
Yeah, it seems like a dumb oversight that they could fix real quick.
You would think, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of things, and then this is the reality we live in.
Yeah.
All right, then. I think we did it.
I think we did it.
Thank you guys for listening. I think we did good. Yes. We survived. Thank you guys for listening. We are out. Peace.